Welcome into the Cam Strick podcast, episode number 248, presented by Hair Club, baby, as well as the Illinois Recovery Center and First Form. Get your mind right, get your body right, start feeling good. Get in the right direction, Cam.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. St. Louis is going to be miserable to be in.
It's so hot. It's going to
be miserable this week and next week. Upper 90s, hundo. It's going to hit triple digits. Humidity out the ass. Pop-up storms that don't even break the heat.
Wait,
more miserable.
I haven't seen any of that.
Dude, it's been pop-up storms going to be all week. Dude,
what
are you talking about?
Like they just like little pop-up storms.
They do. Whenever it's that humid and that hot, you'll have these pop-up storms coming. You'll see these little anvil clouds. They'll pop up. It'll rain for 5 minutes and it'll be over.
You know what happens? Because this is my experience in the with the weather.
Nasty.
Well, when it gets very, very humid, because we're talking like extreme humidity and extreme heat. The combination of that, Cam, you get the condensation that comes out of that.
Yeah, dude, that's why I just said that.
No,
man.
Let me explain what's going to happen. And then, it hits the electrical wires and all of that. Like, people are going to lose electricity. They're going to be without heat, without air conditioning.
What are you talking about?
No, this has a chance to be an absolute disaster. Do you know a few years ago?
What do you mean? Because the humidity is going to get in the wires?
Yeah. And the rain and the storms.
I could kind of see that, man. Like, it gets so humid. Like, even if you wake up, all your windows are just fogged up. You're banging your girl in the back of your car and the windows are up and it's foggy everywhere, kind of like on Titanic. Like, that's how the windows are. It's miserable.
You ever done that?
Yeah, I've had sex in weird places and it's not good. In fact, Scott Norton, if he's listening, I was at his wedding.
He was at the draft. He's still representing
Hell
kids.
yeah. Scotty Norton, I'll give you a little shout out. But I did make love to my, at the time, girlfriend at his wedding outside at the hotel. And he saw me, and the security cameras saw me, and I almost got in trouble for it. It was very embarrassing.
Whose girlfriend was it?
My girlfriend.
Oh, it was
What do you think I'm banging somebody else's? Come on, Andy.
I thought you kind of said
I don't step on toes like that.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
You've stepped on toes?
Yeah, I have.
Oh my God!
Back in the day, and I just contradicted myself.
Do you know one time I was I had a girlfriend. First,
you got stepped on. Oh.
I walked out on the deck, and one of my best friends was trying to make out with her. So I kind of lost my mind.
That sucks.
And
how old were you?
How
old?
19.
Okay, that still gets you right.
19, and. It wasn't like I wanted to marry this girl.
But your heart's broken.
But we all went out. We were at his house. The four of us went out. Yeah. His wife is upstairs throwing up, puking.
Wife?
Because she was so drunk.
He was married.
He was married
at 19?
He was
what an idiot.
I know. Well, maybe we were 20.
And he was trying to wheel your girl? What a fucking dick.
So I go outside, and he's literally all over her.
And she's not
saying... No, he kind of had that reputation.
Pepe Le Pew?
He's very touchy.
I hate that.
So I go out on the porch and here he is trying to make out with her.
Yeah, but what's she doing?
And she was like,
what's she doing?
She starts crying, getting emotional.
Because she saw you, but she was still she wasn't backing away. She should have backed away in 2 seconds, but she didn't. Listen, I don't care who you are. You can have a million different girlfriends. If you find a way where you kind of like a girl and she likes one of your buddies or something, I don't care how tough you are, man. That gets you. It does.
I didn't talk to him for a long time.
No.
Long time.
But God, playing juniors, man, guys would step on. Oh, we were fucking nuts. Like I just said, like a couple of rookies, my girlfriend's coming in town, and all of us old guys are like, okay, bring her over. Yeah, dude, bring her over. Oh, dude,
you would do that.
Oh, we would be
your buddy's girlfriend.
Yes. Oh my God, these young kids my girlfriend's in town. Oh, okay. Yeah, take her. We'll bring her out. And all the guys would be all over her. Horrible, horrible shit. Now, when you get older, man, you know, guys are getting married and stuff like that. It still kind of goes on here and there, but nothing worse than a guy that can't help himself, right? Like he could be a great guy, but once he starts drinking, he's smelling everybody's hair and I gotta touch things and matter.
There's a couple people when we're at events and stuff like that who will try to make jokes and put the arm around the wife and be like, "Hey, she's mine for the night, Andy." And I get all that.
I bet you get that a lot.
Yeah, but for the first or second time, it's it's not as funny as maybe it used to be.
Get off my girl.
Well, I'm like, dude, she ain't going with you anyway.
Get off my girl. Yeah, who are you kidding?
I promise she's not.
There's a reason why he's doing that, because he can't wheel his own thing.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? When you're young, I get that, but once you get older, you don't want a reputation like that, man. Stepping on people's toes and shit like that. But, again, if a guy's flirting with your girl and she's doing the same thing back, it ain't on him.
It's on
her.
I saw a stat the other day that nurses have the highest percentage of cheating rate of any profession.
Really?
More than musicians and athletes.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Because they're always around men?
I don't know.
Wonder why that is.
There's male nurses too, you know.
Yeah, I know.
So it could be the male nurses.
Oh,
not
because
just the
they're
female.
around women.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But nurses, apparently the nursing industry, and now listen, a big shout out to all the nurses out there. You talk about some real shit kickers, Cam. Those nurses are shit kickers.
My mom was at Clayton jail. Dude.
I've seen nurses, you know, like when my wife has babies and stuff like that, or when my daughter was in the hospital. I'm like, man, the stuff that they do.
No, I know.
I just went and saw a friend of mine in the hospital the other day. And these nurses, man, they're work their ass off.
Yeah, and they had to deal with a lot of shit with the COVID stuff too. Mm-hmm. But I guess, right, if you're like if you're a doctor, like you're running the show and you got like 15 nurses cruising around at your helm, whatever you want to call it, where you're like, hey, I need this. Oh, I got to talk to the doc first. Well, we'll talk to the doc. Like I could see where that happened. But a lot of doctors are
so listen, nerdy. All y'all out in Saskatchewan, all my people out there in Canada, East and West Coast, man, Ontario, PEI everywhere, Newfoundland, all the Noofs. If your wife's like, oh, I met a nurse, he's a nice guy, just know.
He's just a friend.
The percentages, they suggest that nurses cheat on their spouses more than any other profession.
We're just friends.
Can you have a friend of an opposite sex?
No.
What do you mean? You say it so emphatically.
Do you think, I mean, if Kate's like, I'm going to go hang out with this guy who's my friend, who I've known, like, no, she doesn't have any guy friends. Her guy friends are my friends, right? We all grew up together. Like, she's not going to go hang out with Travis at a bar by himself. Are you out of your fucking mind? Like, that looks so stupid. Do you think I have any girlfriends? I've never had one girl that's a friend that I didn't want to bang. Ever. Never had a girlfriend. Like a friend. Like, we're doing things. You think when I was young, I'm like, hey, girl, come over here and let's play hockey in the basement with my bud. No. Either you're hot and I want to have sex with you, or, like, maybe I'll know you at a party and you're cool and stuff like that. But
you didn't know any cool girls that you'd go over and stop by their house and hang out?
If there was other girls there and we're trying to wheel them. But just to be friends, what were you going to do? What are you doing? Like, we had nothing in common. We're playing hockey, we're partying, we're doing this.
I know, but I had friends in high school like that.
You were the kind of guy that probably did have.
But that girl who has like a swimming pool at their house or whatever, you stop by. There was always like certain girls, like that was the house you always go to super late at night.
You took advantage of her house. Not because you're friends with her. Yeah. You took advantage of her house.
Maybe. And there's always people hanging out there.
Well, yes, Andy, that's a different story. But do you think, even now, I'm like, Kate, me and Stephanie I'm gonna go hang out. We're gonna go. We're gonna go to Lowe's together.
What do you think of that name, Stephanie?
Stephanie, it's a girl's name. It's a good name. I used it. Yeah. I'm like, my friend Stephanie and I are gonna go. We're gonna go get a bite to eat. Well, I'll call you later. She'd be like, what the fuck? I'm like, of course. And do you think she's gonna go hang out with her guy? No, she hangs with me.
Okay, now listen.
Like,
what if Stephanie's married though?
It makes it even worse.
I think people fall in love with their coworkers all the time.
They do, for sure, Andy. Happens all the time.
Don't you ever hear the term my work wife?
Yeah. I'm just
saying. No, have you heard that before?
Maybe, but it's just funny. Like, we're just friends. Like the famous. What are you talking about? Don't worry about him.
Okay.
Don't worry about her.
What are the warning signs to look for?
Oh, you'll know, Andy. You'll know. There'll be seriously.
Like, tell me though.
No, you'll know. Like, you could, like, if my wife was getting disinterested in me, and they're texting. Not having sex with you, like kind of like I'm sick all the time. Maybe you're like, well, okay, gone. Starting doing her hair up more, buying new underwear. Stuff,
oh, really?
New clothes,
sexy stuff.
Just stuff. She's starting to go out a little bit more. With her friends that she didn't really know. Now she's hanging out with her friends and they're going places. You're like, what's going on here? Like that kind of stuff, Andy. She's not interested in you in other ways. She talks about somebody. Because when you have a fling, it's in your head a lot. And, especially off the bat, like that's all you think about. If you have a fling or you meet a new girl, it's always in the back of your head. So if you're sitting there and she keeps bringing up Robert, like, oh,
you know what Robert said today?
You know what Robert who? Oh,
Robert closed that.
You mean a guy that you talked about like 2-3 days ago? Oh, you brought him back up.
Oh, you should have seen Robert handle himself in the meeting today.
He
closed that deal.
He's so funny. He's so funny.
Did I tell you what Robert did?
Robert made me laugh today. What?
Oh, Robert said something about that.
Robert did say something. Well, Robert disagrees with that.
Oh, Robert's eating there.
Fuck is Robert? He's just Andy. He's just a friend. Don't worry about him.
Yeah.
I have been getting a lot of texts, man, from people listening to the pod. It's going through some weird shit, man.
Like what?
Like just everything in combined, though, Andy. It's not just pill abuse. It's not. It's like my wife, stuff like this. Like, fuck, man, she's not talking to me right now.
Really?
Yeah.
They tell you that?
Yes. Yeah, dude. And I'm like, what's she doing?
Mm-hmm.
Is there somebody? Is she talking about a Robert? Wait, you know what? Look through her phone real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Stan, listen, you're married, you got kids. There's something off. You don't think Kate's gonna fucking stare through my phone or look into your history just to see what's up, just to see what's going on? Like after a while, she's just ignoring you, man. I'd be like, I'd sit her down and talk to her for one.
Do you go through your wife's phone?
Fuck no.
My wife won't even let me look at her phone sometimes. Like
Kate doesn't care.
She thinks I'm gonna like fucking.
She has two people that text her mom and me.
She thinks I'm gonna like erase shit.
Oh yeah, she's not worried about goofy stuff. Maybe Sven texting her in the middle of the night, but I think she's more looking like, don't delete the 15 pictures of Ty on the boat.
Yes.
Oh, I saw all the pictures.
Did
we don't need to
you?
get back into it, but there's just a lot.
Yeah.
She goes through a lot of fucking, what's it called?
Social media?
No. Like she has so many pictures in her cloud.
Yeah.
That cloud's gonna be raining down soon.
You know, I think. Listen, some of these moms, they get like obsessive with photos of their kids a little bit.
Lori's there.
I think so.
She's teetering.
She's teetering.
She's teetering. You might have to put your foot down on that, but that's petty stuff.
But I think it's like,
Yank.
I just kind of let her go, dude, and do her
Andy,
shit.
She's not calling Sven.
No.
She's not like, Sven talked to me again today. I'm going to go meet him. No, like, what? Yeah. No, she's taking pictures of your babies.
And listen, I follow and friends with a lot of people like on Facebook, whatever, NHL players' wives who just post nonstop of their kids. Like, it doesn't stop. 25 pictures a day. But I think a lot of women, dude, I've heard my wife talk to other women, it saves their photos in case something ever happens to their photos.
Oh, okay.
So if they put it on Facebook, they put it on Instagram,
well,
it'll always be available
if
to
Instagram
them.
and Facebook go down, I know it's Lori.
Oh, you think that she'll crash it?
She's going to crash the internet because of all the pictures.
Oh, no.
All the pictures.
She's going to crash the internet. She's going to hear this now.
That's fine. It's all good. I love her. She's fun. But she does take a lot of pictures. Okay? I mean, a lot.
I know. You don't miss anything.
I know. No, I know exactly what you did.
It's like you went on vacation with us, but you basically were there, you know?
She saw Barbie with little Ivy.
Yeah.
Barbie's surprised you didn't go.
I had no interest in going to Barbie.
How can you?
But then she told me there were a lot of guys there at the movie.
Because there's hot chicks in there probably, too.
Yeah, so I don't think it's like...
I think it's like, damn.
I don't think it's like playing with Barbies. I think it's like a movie that a lot of guys maybe go
Andy,
and
it's the stupidest thing in the world.
What is it? So I didn't realize... Listen, I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about this being a big ordeal. In fact, my oldest daughter, she didn't want to go with them.
Good for her.
No, because she's going with her friends.
Oh, okay.
And they're wearing like outfits and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cute for But like, and just not... I want to see Oppenheimer,
No,
dude.
but it's like you're going to like a movie premiere. You take pictures in front of like a...
Yeah, I saw that. That was
screen
cute.
in the back
cute.
and all that. It's a little much.
It's cute. But this Oppenheimer movie is what I want to see.
I've seen all the memes. Oppenheimer versus Barbie. I'm trying to like understand these.
Brody did one.
Yeah, he did one, but I've seen like thousands of others.
Yeah.
So like it's like that thing like everybody's doing it.
Yeah, it's just like
So what does it mean? Like
it just means that if you go see Oppenheimer, it's so hardcore. You're like, rah. I mean, when you go see Barbie, like a picture of me fighting a guy, and then me like with my hair curly Q.
I got it.
I'm trying to wheel a chick or something.
I got it.
But the Oppenheimer I want to see, and I also want to see all y'all out there. Joaquin Phoenix is playing Napoleon.
Oh,
that's going to be awesome, man.
Is that in the theaters or is that on?
I believe.
Netflix?
I hope it's a series, because movies are just like, especially a movie about Napoleon or even Oppenheimer. Like I know it's 3 hours long, but I want a 8-part series. You an hour, 2 hours long each, where you could really dig in, character build, and all that stuff. Especially for like Napoleon too, because he did so much shit. He fucking took the world over. Mm-hmm. He's built like you.
Hey, listen. They asked, they had that Bauer hockey, like, I guess they filmed something the other day with, like, Patrick Kane and those guys and Jack Hughes and Zegras, and they were, like, doing some stick handling and stuff like that. Did you see that?
I mean...
They had some women hockey players, too.
I don't see everything that they do on TikTok.
Well, they put something out. They
what about
on TikTok.
What is it? What do they do? They stick handle things?
But they were asking all the guys that were there, Quinn Hughes, Jack Hughes, Zegras, Patrick Kane, I think Cole Caulfield. Like, they said, are you with Barbie or Oppenheimer?
I bet you they said Barbie.
They all said Barbie. Except Jack Hughes was like, he's kind of like, I don't know, man. Listen, I think Jack has a great personality. I really do. And I think he's a hell of a player, man. I love watching him play. I tell my kid, you watch Jack Hughes, man. Watch this guy go.
Yeah.
But he's kind of too cool for school when, like, the cameras and the lights are on, you know. Like, I know he takes pride in kind of, like, some of the stuff that he says to media people and whatever. But they're just asking him. You got Patrick Kane being like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go see Barbie, whatever. Trevor Zegras, I'll go see Barbie.
I bet those guys don't even know who Oppenheimer is.
And he goes, probably neither. Like, I was like, okay, dude. Like, come on, Jack.
Just fake it.
Jack, just fake it. Like,
I think
you're not, it's not a post-game interview. They're not, like, invading your space. You're there for a promotion for Bauer hockey. You know, like, you're trying to create content. They're trying to create content.
Yeah, understand the
game. You're there.
Yeah.
You don't have to be too cool or act like they're, you know, disrupting your free time here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Just be entertaining, man. Like, no offense, but all y'all out there, like, be entertaining. Like, you need it. You know, it's not the NBA where the camera's on you. They talk about you every 2 seconds. Like, you're in Jersey, man. Like, get your face out there, brother. Be funny.
Get it out there.
Get out there. Be goofy, then. Just don't be serious.
Like, it's not a serious question.
It's not a serious question. Or be like, who's Oppenheimer? I bet you those guys don't even fucking know.
He's like, no.
They're
really.
like you. They have no idea.
I just hadn't looked into it, dude. I've seen it
but
everywhere.
You should know that. And here's another little.
But
quick
all it
bit.
takes me is 5 minutes to go read about it, and then I do know.
Yeah, but you should have. Like, you're educated. Like, how do you not know?
I just hadn't. I've seen it everywhere.
Good.
Listen,
at least you're honest.
You ever like see things all the time, and you just haven't taken the time to like click on it to see what it is?
No, because if it's interesting, I'm looking at it. I don't just look up shit. Yeah. That's all I do is look up stuff. I don't just look up hockey stuff.
I'm more into watching like the Blackberry movie right now that's out that I haven't checked out yet on Netflix.
Cool.
I know it's on Amazon Prime.
But another story.
You know about that story, by the way?
Not yet, but the other story about the bomb was the USS Indianapolis. If you remember that was that secret mission where they dropped the bomb off, an aircraft carrier or a battleship or whatever it was. They had the bomb. They dropped it off on one of the little islands in the South Pacific. And no one knew that they were on this mission. And a Japanese torpedo, maybe it was German, maybe it was Japanese, don't remember, fucking clipped it. 900 souls went in the water. Fucking ship went down. Oil everywhere. They're burned by oil. They're screaming. Everybody jumps in the water, screaming and yelling, getting burned. And everybody goes quiet. And all of a sudden, here comes the sharks. And then all of a sudden you hear a guy over there. Nothing. And over here. Nothing. Then guys would swim over and be like, you okay? And they'd grab a guy that was held onto a life jacket. And he'd start bobbing. And half of his body's gone.
There's video of this?
No, this is 1945, dude. There's no video of this. They're on a secret mission dropping the bomb off. And no one knew they were gone. And they got rocked on the way back, they got rocked by a fucking missile.
So who's telling the story?
Fucking people that survived it.
So people did
fucking
survive.
400 people survived it.
So 900 people went down, 400 survived.
Yes.
Who rescued them?
Another ship,
Dude, I met some of the Coast Guard people, by the way.
Another ship. Don't ruin my story.
In Massachusetts.
They're hardcore.
There's some hardcore shitkickers
yeah.
right there. So those are the people that would typically go out and rescue.
No, but this was not. You didn't have the Coast Guard then. So this was like
they rescued each other, basically.
It took like days and days.
How long were they at sea?
Man, probably, I think 5 days. What's it say there, Brody? I think 5 days they were stuck at sea, and that the sharks just kept coming, and they'd be in these circles, and they'd kick the sharks away, and they take a dead body, and they throw it so the sharks would grab them. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. They smell the blood in the water, dude. And if you ever watch Jaws, there's one of the best scenes. He talks about it when they're comparing each other's scars in the boat before Jaws really gets them. And the old man starts telling the story about being on U.S. Indianapolis. Most hardcore fuck story ever, man. Hardcore.
You see that video the other day of this shark that was just swimming amongst the people? Like they were trying to get out, and it's a bull shark now.
Yeah, those things can go upriver, so you know. They found
Hold on. What do you mean upriver?
They can adapt to fresh water, Andy. Bull sharks have been caught in the Mississippi River by St. Louis.
I know.
They swam all the way up the Mississippi and went to the Great Lakes.
Like Michigan.
Yes.
There's sharks in there. No, there are.
No.
Lake Tahoe, there's some sharks in there.
Andy,
these massive bodies of water will attract some sharks. You'll find some sharks in there.
There's only bull sharks could really do that. And so they found a way to adapt, and they just get caught upstream.
Not great whites, dude.
No, I know, but sometimes I think you get
Let me
confused
tell you,
easily.
dude,
You know
it's
what I mean?
Shark Week.
And he goes to Lake Tahoe. Now he thinks he's an expert on what's in the water there. You don't know a damn thing. I don't think you can even get to Lake Tahoe like via water source for a bull shark. I don't think that makes sense. Mississippi River makes sense, dude.
Look it up. Tell me if there's ever been sharks found in Lake Tahoe, because I'm looking for it right now. I've got my fact checkers on you from last week, dude.
About what? What I mess up on?
We'll find that.
Find it. No, exactly.
Lake Michigan.
Yeah, bull shark.
Thank you.
You said Lake Tahoe. He said no. I'm like, yeah, sit down sometimes.
Well, what about
Let
Lake
the big
Michigan?
boys talk.
What about
once in a
Lake
while.
Michigan?
Yeah, I said that already.
Well, I was just saying that. I'm saying Lake Michigan. There has been a bull shark probably in Lake Tahoe at some point.
It's not recorded, so you can't just say that, Andy. You can't just be, here, my sources. Now, now fact check me. What I say?
I'm going to fact check you, but listen.
What I say?
Did you see the video, though? This bull shark swimming amongst the people in Florida. They were trying to get out.
Yeah, man.
So bull sharks typically are not looking to feast on human beings, just so you know. But
none of them are.
They will the white shark will.
No, it won't. It doesn't want to. That's why it bites you and leaves, dude. It doesn't want to eat human meat. It doesn't.
It'll mistake
We're not
you.
fatty enough.
It'll mistake you.
I know. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
They're not fatty enough. They like seal meat. They like whale fucking blubber. That's what they like.
Listening to last week's pod. Now, this is from Parker Weeks.
Who's that?
Parker Weeks.
All right, what do you say?
He's on my staff. He's among my fact checkers that I've hired. I've got a lot of people all over North America.
What do you say, Andy?
Listening to this week's pod, I just had to chime in about the tequila subject, because I told you tequila is the cleanest, the healthiest alcohol that's out there.
Okay.
And you said, no, you're wrong. In fact, I'm wearing
what do you say?
a Kodak tequila shirt.
They're not a sponsor, so
I knew we'd bring this up today.
Unless Jax wants to get off his wallet.
Healthiest by far, lowest calories per ounce, only alcohol that is a stimulant rather than a depressant.
Okay.
Tell Cam he's wrong, he said.
What did I say? I said that. Okay.
Oh, I love it. Parker, thank you very much.
That wasn't like something I brought up. Like you said that, and I'm like, okay.
You tried to disagree. I got fact checkers everywhere.
That's fine.
So,
I'll take a loss on that. That's okay.
Thank you.
That ain't no big deal.
Thank you.
You don't even know half the stuff I bring up anyway.
Hey, did you know it's Shark Week right now?
Yeah, I do.
It started on Discovery Channel last night. You know, National Geographic's been doing it for like 30 years.
I know.
Which one's better?
I hate Shark Week because it's in August, late July, and this is the dog days of St. Louis. I hate August. I'd rather be cold and be cozy in my house than be 110 degrees outside. It's fucking terrible. Terrible. I'd rather be cold and walk into a cozy, warm, fireplace lit house than shut down all my fucking windows, close up all the shit, and no natural sunlight in because
it's too
my
hot.
house is 100 degrees. I have all these big windows.
Me too.
I don't. It's depressing to me. When it's this hot, it's depressing. When it's cold, I don't mind bundling up, dude. All I have to do is walk to my fucking car, start that thing from the goddamn kitchen. I'll get in there. Are
you happier in February or August?
I think I'm happier in February.
Really? Because that's a depressing month, you know.
February's nicer than August. And Missouri. And sometimes February in Missouri, it gets up to like 65 degrees one day, and that's when, guess what happens? Guess what?
Storms.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
February, tornadoes in the Dixie Park.
I know.
I'm just letting you know. I like February. It ain't bad.
Hey, I put on my Instagram story last night because I was walking Blay in the heat. Actually, the best time to walk the dog right now is like 5, 6 o'clock.
7 o'clock, probably.
7 o'clock.
5 o'clock's the worst.
It's still like the first 10 minutes of the walk, you're like, oh, it's actually not bad out.
4 to 5 is the hottest
And then like
part of the
20,
day.
30 minutes in, you're like, okay, this is disgusting.
Yeah, I know.
It's so gross.
It's not worth it.
I said for years, man.
Yank.
And when I finally moved away, in college, I was like, I'll never move back to St. Louis. I never had a plan to ever come back here. And then I got an internship at like a mega radio station, and I took the internship and then got hired. They hired me out of my internship.
Yeah.
And I ended up staying here.
Yeah, man.
Everybody when you're young, the plan, dude.
Everybody when you're young, you want to get out of your town, you want to get out of Eureka. I hate Eureka. I hate Eureka. And then all of a sudden you start going other places. You're like, no, Eureka's pretty fucking nice. And it's funny how everybody in high school's like, I got to get out of this small town. And then now everybody's moving back like, yeah, this was a cute
But I got a fancy high school behind me, and I'm walking through there, and I had never really I had never really looked at their baseball field. I walked, in the back of the campus, and I was walking through there. I'm like, dude, This is like,
how much does it cost to go there?
I don't know. But
so the fucking field better be good.
But we didn't have a baseball field like that when I was coming up in Parkway North. Baby.
Is that why you didn't make it in baseball? You think?
Because I would have made it in baseball.
If only Andy would have played one game in baseball or the NHL. Oh God, the places you'd be right now. Mm-hmm. If you just would have played one game. I can't believe he didn't. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Just one game.
Remember Andy said that to me.
It's true.
Oh, Cam, let me tell you something. If only I played one game. Mm-hmm. Do you know where I'd be right now?
Hockey night in Canada.
Because fuck, man, because you were really close.
I'd be a hockey night.
Because you played high school for a year and then you quit. Mm-hmm. So you were just like one step.
Football?
Hockey. You were one step away.
I didn't quit hockey.
Oh, you just didn't make a team? When did you stop playing?
I made the team.
What team?
Hockey team?
What team?
I played on my high school team.
Till when? Your senior year?
Yeah.
And then what?
And then I played at Northern Arizona University,
no, it's all good.
Which is a hockey hotbed.
Oh, I bet.
Formerly a D1 program.
If
I would have played one game,
Andy, you'd have such a good life.
The opportunities would be
it's such an easy thing to do. It's so easy to do. I can't believe you just didn't you were just that far away.
Just one game away.
Know, one game away. And you'd have that huge house on the hill. Get out of here. I laughed when you said that to me. It's so out of touch. It's so unbelievably out of touch.
I can't believe
you guys,
you're going back to that.
It's just unbelievable because I work with guys that are the same kind of way, and I just shake my head and I'm like, maybe it's because you're in the locker room all the time and you think you're part of the group. I know you're smarter than that, but other guys, I think that they think that, fuck, I hang out with these guys. I could have played. No, nothing to do with that. You're getting a quote from them. You know, it's really weird. A very inflated sense of reality they get, some of these TV guys. They're just close. You know, fuck. Did you get hurt or something? Was it just bad? Politics.
I broke my ankle.
It was politics.
I had a dad. Listen, I dropped my kid off at
politics
hockey camp this morning.
Yeah.
And I was talking to, he was bringing up politics.
Who was?
One of the other dads.
Already?
In youth hockey.
Oh, already saying it.
I'm like,
you tell him to calm down.
I was like, man, I'm not really seeing that already.
What'd he say?
He's like, well, politics will be involved in terms of picking the team. I'm like, nah.
If your kid's good, it doesn't matter.
I'm not really seeing that.
Listen, your kid's good, doesn't matter.
Yeah, the kid's good, man.
If your kid's good,
you never have to worry about
you don't even think about it.
No.
You don't even think about it because it never crosses your mind.
Yeah.
Because your kid's good.
Let me
it's
give
when
you
your
an
kid's
example.
on the bubble, and then you're like, well, I know he can't turn on his left skate, and I know his shot's terrible, and he doesn't get back, and he's lazy. But these politics got him. No, the kid's not that good.
I'll tell you this, man. There is a team here in town that cut two prominent blues players' sons.
Oh, boy.
Prominent blues players' sons.
Recently?
A year ago.
Can I guess?
I don't want to say it because I don't want to embarrass the kids or whatever.
Okay.
I
get you. Yeah, I don't want to do that either. You're right. My bad.
Yeah. So, but.
It just shows you.
Hey.
And they have juice.
Major juice, because I think we need to have that relationship with the Blues. It's just a spring team.
I know.
You can't keep two extra guys to skate. They don't even play games. They're just practicing.
I know. But what about little Johnny, who's better?
Right. Whose dad doesn't? Whose dad's a shit kicker? Whose
whose dad's out yonder?
Who's laying tar?
Laying fucking tar, baby. No, he gets screwed over? Are you kidding?
Right.
I don't know, Andy. It's good to have the NHL guys there. But what about the kid? Like, this kid deserves it.
Well, my thing would be like this. Hey, listen, I go to the NHL players. Are you going to come on the ice? You going to help coach?
Oh, yeah.
You going to help, teach the kids?
I'm not just having your kid on here because you're gonna miss half the games and
right.
not have your foot in the door helping out. You got to give me something, too, if I'm going to have your kid on there.
I had another NHL player whose kid, prominent NHL player, whose kid really struggles.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't understand how kids can be that good, pointing at some other kids. And I'm like, well, you probably were that good back in the day.
What do you mean? You grew up with everybody you played with was that good.
I go, I don't understand how anyone can be as good as you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
How do you get to be as good as you are?
Yeah, I know.
So it's for you to think like that just because they're 7 years old. How can they be that good at 7? Well, how can they be that good at 30?
I did skate with the alumni the other day. It was nice.
I heard you were terrible.
Was I?
Yeah, I heard that.
Do you want to get invited back ever?
I heard you just.
Andy always checks up on me anytime I do anything. He'll call 15 people and just get the scoop. just to bring me down.
Just to find out.
Just to bring me down a little bit. Can't do anything.
Sometimes I got to.
I can't do anything, you know?
No, I'm kidding. I didn't hear that.
I skated,
How'd it go?
I was good. Then I did an event with Losey. I talked about it last week and played against, this team that's been around for a bit. And I looked terrible. And then Losey, of course, is on the other team. And he's chirping me the whole time.
Well, as he should.
I stopped and I go, I'm going to fuck you up. Like, he started to get to me. So I started hitting him.
You think you could?
Yeah.
You do.
In a fight? Losey? On the ice is tough.
For people who don't know, it's Reed Lowe. Listen, there may be a lot of listeners who don't know who he is, but the reality is he played in the early 2000s.
So tough.
And he fought everybody.
So tough. And he's a lefty, too.
He was never considered, like, amongst the, like, true alpha male fighters in the league.
He should have been, though.
But he fought everybody, and he handled himself very well, and he won a lot of fights, and he had more fights than probably – if you go back and look at the time frame he played in the NHL.
A lot more than anybody.
Look at the number of fights he had versus anybody else in the league. I guarantee you he's probably top five for sure.
Reed Lowe. He is the funniest son of a bitch, biggest goofball, big old hillbilly boy from up yonder.
He loved to have a good time back in the day, too, man.
He's hilarious, dude. But he was pissing me off so fucking. He knows how to get under my skin, obviously.
Yeah.
And we make each other money, man. Like Losey, he's got so much shit going on. But like when you're playing though, and you're shit in the bed, and the place is packed with kids, and everybody knows you, and you're wearing your jersey, and they're expecting you to do something, and I just couldn't move, dude. I couldn't get going. My team wasn't very good. I don't want to blame, but they weren't very good. And that kind of sucks too, because I had no energy, and I just couldn't do it. And then Losey, of course, gets the puck right in the slot, scores. Skates by the bench. And I'm like, I'm going to fuck you up. And then I got to challenge them. And it's just people, we just put on a show.
So I'm playing in a game coming up against the Warriors, actually.
Yeah, they're hard to play.
I played against them last year. It was not easy.
They'll whack and hack you.
I was like hiding from Rob Ramage, who's coaching the other team, because if he knew I was on the other team, he'd probably send somebody after me.
He will 100% do that.
He would do that.
They will torture you.
He said to me after the game,
do I need to come?
If I knew, maybe I might have to have you come to this.
Do I need to come to this thing?
Maybe.
I think I'm invited.
This is the game last year where like Jamal and those guys were like talking shit because like, come on, Strick, give me the puck. Like, remember? It was one of those type of things.
I had to call him a couple. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So it's right. So we played the
Remember
Warrior.
We talked about this.
Yes, we played the Warrior Group, which is a team consisted of military.
A lot of NHL cities have these teams.
Yes, military, badass dudes.
Veterans.
They are veterans. They are so damn disciplined. They're hardcore. They want to win.
And they practice like 6 days a week, dude.
Some of them don't have a hand. Some of them are missing different. Yeah, no, Andy, 100%.
I've never seen that.
Well, I actually fought the guy.
With one hand?
He asked me. And I go, all right, I'll give you one.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't think they were Wounded Warriors.
Yes.
I think that's a different group.
No, they're the same. They're mixed match together.
Okay.
Yes. And so I go, yeah, I'll go. Yeah, put on a show for the fans. He drops his gloves. He's got one hand. Oh, my God. I'm like, fuck. And he knew that I was going to be this way. So he started laughing. He grabs me, and it was great. These guys are fucking awesome, man. But so last year, Andy takes a beating from guys. Like, I think they listen to me torture you. And then they think they could do it too, and I don't like that.
And we're like really friends behind the scenes with all these guys, you know.
But they're around Andy. Yeah. They get around people. Yeah. They love you to death. They love your family. They love everything about you. But once you get around people, they pick on you. Like they pick out Andy and they fucking torture him. And I'm supposed to do that, not you. If it's Jamal Maris, fine. If it's fucking Rivs, okay, fine. Losey could chirp you. Fucking all the old veterans could. But once you got a guy that didn't do shit, and he starts chirping Andy in front of me, then I get pissed. Then I'm like,
that
shut
doesn't
up.
happen
one time, and
happened one time.
Yeah. And I go, shut the fuck up. He's mine, not yours, or whatever it was. I actually stood up for you because it's not Jammer.
You ever seen those wrestlers like who don't have any legs, and you got to go and like wrestle the guy without legs?
I told you I wrestled a guy with one arm one time. I barely beat him.
He pinned you.
No, I barely beat him.
Did you wrestle?
Yes.
When?
8th, 9th grade.
What was your record?
Man, I shit stomped guys until I started to try to out muscle dudes because I moved up in weight to like 189 and I was like 170.
189 in 8th grade?
9th grade. And I was 170.
I've never even ever gotten to 189.
I know you haven't, Andy. You don't eat anything. But I tried to out muscle guys. And if you knew what you were doing, I was still so far behind, they'd pin me. And listen to me. That's why I want Andy's kid to get into wrestling because it's one-on-one. You got girls watching you in high school.
No, they're not. No
one follows you around anywhere. No one's following you around anywhere.
None of the girls were going to wrestling meets.
You didn't go to Eureka High School. You don't know shit. So stop, dude. Dude, the wrestlers were the fucking baddest ass dudes going, dude. Are you kidding? There was girls at the wrestling matches. There's girls at the fucking soccer games. There's girls at the football games.
The soccer games.
They're everywhere.
And at the football games, yeah,
they're everywhere.
Sure. They're not at the wrestling matches.
Yes, they are. You didn't wrestle. You don't know. So anyway, you got girls
Trust
watching.
me.
You don't know shit. You got girls watching you. Your little dingies hanging out in a singlet. This is all y'all know. Your little wee-wee is hanging out. You got nothing on, basically, and you're wrestling a guy, and you can get fucking embarrassed. That, to me, that's how you become a man. Like, you're one-on-one, everybody's watching you. You're damn right, dude. Mm-hmm. It makes you tough. It makes your neck strong. It makes you humble.
What about those guys that, like, are sore losers, and they just cold cock the guy?
Yeah, I saw that a couple times.
When the referee's standing between them, and they're going to, like, raise the arm of the guy who won?
It's emotional, man. You know?
Listen, one of the best events I've ever covered in my life, dude, was the NCAA National Championship Wrestling. I've done it several times.
Awesome.
Like, and one of my jobs one year was to interview the guys in the national championship game right afterwards, like over the in-house shit.
That's kind of cool.
It was cool. The guys who would lose, dude, would literally go bang their head as hard as they could into a concrete wall.
Oh, it's
like where their forehead is like crushed and bleeding profusely everywhere.
Not everybody does.
And I'd be like, stop doing that. What are you doing to your head?
They were pissing themselves, man.
Well, it's very emotional, man. I saw a woman. Remember that video that went viral? Her son, dude, he never lost a match in high school. Ever. 3 state championships in high school. Senior year, undefeated, lost the state championship final in high school.
Yeah, okay.
College. Never lost. First 3 years of college, won a national championship undefeated. Freshman, sophomore, junior. Like, a phenom. One of the greatest wrestlers in the history of the sport. Senior year, undefeated. Loses in the national championship wrestling match, and his mom took her glasses off, and she smashed her glasses in her hands. She crumbled them with her hands. Remember that?
I saw it. Yeah, she's emotional, man. You know.
Would you wrestle her?
Yeah. She's good looking. I forgot.
She'd kill you, dude.
I just think, and wrestling's odd because, you know, you can get an education, but you're not going to make money doing it unless you go, I guess, the Olympics and get sponsors and stuff like that, or you form your base, which is wrestling, into MMA and try to make money that way. So
somebody was talking shit to Dana White the other day about how much those guys are getting paid and stuff that. I don't think they tell you what they get paid.
Well, yeah, they do.
No, I don't think they say it.
No, they know. You can look it up right now and see who gets paid every single match.
Per match?
Yeah. And so Francis Ngannou.
No, I think he said in the video, I watched Dana White, he said, listen, if they don't want you to know, they don't have to tell you. I don't think it's public knowledge. So fact check that too.
Fact check that. You could be right on that. I thought that.
That's what the whole thing was about.
I thought you could just.
And so he was like, yeah, boxers, they tell you how much they make because they fight like 2-3 times a year.
Okay. That could make sense, Andy. You could be right on that. My bad. But Frankie Ngannou, he's making more money against Tyson Fury. He's making like 10 schmil.
Now maybe those guys, dude. Like the big
this
dogs.
is not the UFC, dude. He got out of the UFC and he's going to fight and make all his money in a stupid boxing match against Tyson Fury, which I actually would watch. Now the Nate Diaz Jake Paul, I'm not interested because Nate Diaz is going to get his fucking ass kicked. Unfortunately,
he will.
Yeah, dude.
Hold on.
In a boxing match against Jake Paul, yes, he's going to lose.
Because Jake Paul,
he's bigger.
He was a YouTuber, but he really is a boxer.
He's tough, dude.
Right?
He's tough. Yeah, he's tough and he's big and he throws hard.
And what's Diaz?
Dude, he's like 150 pounds. Diaz is a fucking jiu-jitsu guy who smacks you.
He's trying to do
boxing.
He
has no hard punches. Like he's not going to really knock you out. I love the guy, but he's going to get his ass kicked, and I don't even want to see it.
But for a payday, why not do it?
Yeah, no, he's getting paid 100%. And so,
would you do it for a payday?
I
mean, come on, dude. They're gonna pay you millions of dollars. You just go in there and get your
I'm not
ass
going to get paid $1 million. I'm not big enough. So,
but if you were,
it depends on how much money I had. Some of these guys are going to knock me the fuck out, man. I don't want to get buckled like that Nate Robinson guy did by Jake Paul. Like, I don't want to. I was supposed to fight Jake Paul. Remember Bolton called me, and I go, who? And I'm like, okay. I don't know.
Eric Bolton said he wanted you to fight Jake Paul. Yeah, because he
was in charge of the promotion.
He wanted you to fight Jake Paul?
Yeah, when they fought Nate Robinson.
Is this before, like,
I was on my boat. Really? I was on my boat with Kate in a sandbar on the Merrimack River.
And he knocked Nate Robinson out,
knocked him right out.
And he's a little guy, played for the New York Knicks.
I would have done better, but he probably would have knocked me out,
Played at Washington, basketball player. He had great vertical.
You look like a fucking idiot.
He could dunk at like 5'7".
Yeah, he's a good athlete. He looked like a moron. Oh man, I was talking about this the other day. I don't think I've ever told the story on anything besides maybe radio. But I remember, God, somebody was bringing up old baseball shit. And they brought up Yogi Berra.
Dude, you've told that story
on
several
here.
How you showered with him?
I don't think I have.
Yeah,
have I told that? Okay, never mind.
Yes.
I showered with the old man, and his nuts hung down to the goddamn drain. That's all. I didn't even know who the fuck he was. I go.
Yeah, but like,
sorry, is that not cool enough for you, Andy? You want to talk about Cape Cod or something? I'm my bad on that.
I don't. Well, you've already told.
You
want
to talk about Cape Cod?
How you shower with Yogi Berra?
Sorry about that.
So I just want to. You asked, and you said I don't think I've told the story. Good. I said yeah.
My bad.
And you can tell it again if you want.
It's all good.
I mean, I'll tell the story. He showered with Yogi Berra. He was talking to him. He didn't know it was him. Now, for the record, if I'm in the shower with him, like, I probably don't know what's.
Andy doesn't shower with anybody anyway. He doesn't even shower after we play hockey. He'll just like put his clothes back on, like Ty does, and gets back in the car. Why do you do that? Because you don't sweat enough or something?
I shower all the time.
You do?
After I play hockey? Sure I do. You think I go back in the car with my sweaty clothes? I'm not one of those, dude.
Hey, you remember back in the day, though? I remember being one of the first guys.
Pat Maroon told me I needed to shave down there.
You do?
He's like, damn, Strick, you got a big bush down there. I'm like, all these NHL players staring at each other.
What's up with that?
I don't think that's true.
No. You don't think? Let's look real quick. I bet it is.
So I went home and shaved it.
Trimmed it up. I remember, though, like the first time.
We had the lawnmower from, we did like a quick little short little deal with Manscaped.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I kind of need some help.
Yeah, you do.
Patty Maroon's like chirping me in the shower, dude.
Well, it's like, I remember being young and me and Bobby Press played AAA hockey. We were the first ones to take a shower after AAA games with our jock on. And then eventually we went naked and everybody else started jumping in. But it was like 11.
I don't think kids start doing that till maybe 12, 13.
Yeah, I think it was 11 or 12.
And I'll tell you this, Cam, when I was coming up, nobody was showering after hockey until maybe like 16, 17.
I remember my dad being like, get the fuck in there. Mm-hmm. Here's your soap. Here's your towel. You smell like dog shit. Mm-hmm. We're going to Poor Richard's after this to get a bite to eat. Get the fuck in the shower. Like, get in the shower. I'm like, okay, here's sandals, whatever. Yeah. And I did it.
Yeah.
And everybody else started doing it. You know?
Yeah, I think
like 11 years old.
I think it's probably uncomfortable for a lot of kids to do that.
It is.
I don't chirp these little kids.
I'm not. But if I'm a dad, I'm like, get the fuck in the shower.
At what age, dude?
At 11 or 12, 100%.
Maybe older than that.
Get in the shower, kid. Like, you're okay. We're okay. You're traveling every damn. You smell like shit. You're getting a little bit older. No, get in the shower.
Yeah, you better have some sandals on in some of these rinks.
Yeah, some of these rinks, hepatitis A through Z, baby.
You get a foot fungus.
Oh, man. Yeah. You get athlete's foot. That's horrible. You probably never had athlete's foot because you're not an athlete.
No, I think I never really had it, but
it's bad.
Someone in my family had it. There's like a powder you put on it.
You got to put powder. You could spray stuff. Like imagine.
What is it? It's a rash?
Yeah, it's like fungus. Imagine like your feet always like.
Why do they call it athletes?
Itchy, because it's when you're sweating. I think it just and you're showering all the time, and your feet are always wet in wet shoes and wet socks. It just gets itchy, and it's like miserable as shit. You know, athlete's foot. Ugh.
Hey, how are the Leafs going to get under the cap? Do you have any idea?
Man, it's not my fucking problem. Keep signing people.
Hey, I was messaging back and forth with a listener the other day because I said, no, I don't hate the Leafs anymore.
Oh, no. They going up there at
Well,
you?
because she was all like, you know.
She?
I think it's a she,
oh,
yeah.
Cool.
One of the 23%.
Hey, girl, what's up?
Come on now.
What up, girl?
Although some people you never know because some couples like share the same Instagram and Facebook accounts.
Yeah.
Where they'll have like both their names on there.
No, I know.
Yeah. So like, but I think in this case it was.
There's a lot of females that listen to us.
Oh yeah. But she was like, I know you're always, you hate the, I go, no, I don't really hate them anymore. I go, Doobie's gone. They got Reaver. They got some testosterone. I love Tyler Bertuzzi.
It's all good.
They got somebody else who was tough too. Who else they get?
Hathaway? They get Hathaway?
No. Who'd they get? Bertuzzi, Reaver, who else? Somebody else. A fucking like.
Oh, what's that?
Domi.
Oh, yeah, Maxie boy.
Maxie.
What's up, Maxie boy?
So, yeah, no, I don't hate the Leafs anymore. Now, I like all the new I like all the new Leafs. Now, I want to see these guys that are eating up like close to 40% of the salary cap actually now do something. They still got to like lead the way. I mean, Ryan Reeves isn't going to come in and get you to the next level, but he's going to like, make you a little tougher on the ice.
Be entertaining.
Be entertaining. Max Domi's going to give you some balls on the ice.
Yeah.
He's probably smaller than Matthews anyway. He comes in, he's like, yeah, he has the balls, you know.
Yeah.
Come on, Matthews, let's get it going. So he'll get these guys going. But, you know, we'll see what happens with Matt Murray. If they can trade him, whatever. They got some, you know, long-term injury candidates. Maybe they got to move on from like a Yarn Crook or something like that, which I know they don't want to do. Nylander, can they ever trade Nylander? We've been hearing about this forever. I'd take Nylander. He wants $10 million a year. Again, another example of these guys who play in Toronto who just completely overvalue themselves. Like, you're a good player, man. Don't get me wrong, but
they in the Athletic they had a
only so many guys making 10 schmil.
what they have in the Athletic the best bang for your buck as far as contracts are concerned in the NHL. Who do you think would be on that list? Big boys, Andy. Who do you think's on that list?
Oh,
Top 10 best contracts. Who do you think?
go ahead.
Matthew Tkachuk, number 1.
Really?
9.5. I don't understand like the positive value probability, 96%. You know, fucking shit.
I would say 9.5 in Florida is closer to 11.
Yeah, but okay, but like still, like he's at 9.5.
Okay.
So you could be in Florida, you could be in Buffalo, you're at 9.5.
Yeah.
Whether how much you're taking home,
Yeah.
whatever.
I know, but that's
So,
still
okay,
pretty.
that's number one.
Still like,
Who do you think's number 2? Plays for the Devils.
isn't 9.5 probably top 15 in the league? 10?
Yeah.
Top 10 in the league in terms
Yeah, but
of
he's
salary.
getting it's still not 10. It's not 10 and a half. It's
No,
not
I know,
11.
I
It's
know.
not 11 and a half.
I know.
So he's still in the bottom part of a superstar. He's
Yeah.
a superstar.
He is now.
So you're gonna fucking pay Nylander
More than Matthew
Matthew
Tkachuk?
Tkachuk? That's what I'm talking about.
Fuck no.
Who brings you more value?
Oh, my God.
Jack Hughes, number 2. Your boy.
Jack Hughes
He's dang good.
is going to have one of the best contracts ever in a couple of years. And I
I
love you,
know.
Jackie, man. I know I was saying, like, I want him to be entertaining.
I agree,
Dude.
Andy.
Just be
It's
cool.
all good.
You don't have to be too cool. Like, you're like, get out of my face too cool.
No, like I don't need to answer that question.
Come
No,
on,
answer
dude.
it and be funny. Come on.
Tage Thompson has an unbelievable contract.
He's not on here.
He's not?
Plays for Colorado or Colorado's next.
Because Tage
Cal
Thompson
McCarr.
makes in the 7s.
I know. I don't think he has enough. I don't know if he has enough games, maybe, so they don't value it as much. But
Well, so whoever put this list together, that's a terrible omission.
He makes 9. Cal McCarr makes $9 million. Makes $9 million.
He's a hell of a player. But that's what superstars are making in the NHL.
No, that's not that much.
It's
He's
not.
the best player in the league.
In relation to, you know, maybe a McDavid or what a Matthews is going to get. I get you.
Who's the highest paid
But we all
defenseman?
know it's all about when you sign your deal. I mean,
It's like Erik Karlsson.
if Cale McCarr was a or was a free agent today, he'd be getting more
And
than
that's
Erik
fine.
Karlsson.
But as of right now, for the next 4 years, he's got a very good value on that.
It's an incredible contract.
Unbelievable. And that's probably why they're going to probably maybe win or come close again.
Yeah, okay.
Because you have guys like that.
All right.
So I know.
I mean, Nathan McKinnon was grossly underpaid forever.
He had 5.5,
until-
wasn't he?
6.5, I think,
6.5.
until he got
Jesus.
his most recent deal.
So anyway, Timmy Stutzel's on there. You know,
He signed out at entry
Matt
level. didn't he?
Boldy. Well,
Okay. You know, Boldy's a hell of a player,
Adam
too.
Fox.
Yeah, these guys are all great players.
All right.
I don't know why NHL players don't make more money. It's the salary cap, dude. It's just, it is what it is. I mean, you go look at other sports. These NBA players, dude. I mean, like the players you've never even heard of are making 20 plus.
NBA is a
million.
great product.
It is. I sent you some great WNBA clips
Jesus
last
Christ.
night. I said to
Can I
Cam,
just say to
I
people-
said to Cam, I sent him a
God.
picture, a video of this WNBA player.
Oh, God.
What was she, like the first player in WNBA history to average like a double, like 30 points and like
triple
over
single.
10 rebounds or something?
I don't know.
And over 30 points. And I said, don't sleep on her. He said, are you telling me not to sleep with her?
Don't worry, I won't.
I
She
said,
doesn't
"No."
want to sleep with
I
me
said,
either.
don't sleep on her.
I know I chirped the WNBA a lot. I just feel like the girls are so cocky. Like a lot of them, they're not like very humble. If anybody interviews a WNBA star, they ask, "Hey, what do you think we need to do to improve the WNBA viewership?" You know what they say? We need to get paid more. And they're like, "Well, what is it? Well, how do you justify that?" Wow, we're pretty damn good. We have a good product.
Yeah,
well,
but-
no,
yeah,
you don't.
But I think Draymond Green was the one that came out.
Yeah, he did. He's like, no,
And
what do you mean by
he
that?
crushed it. He's
Everybody's a
like,
pussy.
we completely pay for your league.
No shit. And like even Charles Barkley kind of just like didn't say anything. I'm really surprised. I know he's on fucking
Well, he doesn't want to get
CNN
canceled.
now. Exactly.
So he only says things that won't get you canceled.
Exactly. Now
but
he's
says
against
he doesn't
Bud
want to
Light.
get canceled.
He's against Bud Light now. Come on, Charles. We
Come on,
love you,
Chuck.
but now you're being a pussy.
We can all see right through that.
But it's like if you ask, it's and that's the thing. Like if they were just humble, like no, we got work to do. Maybe we should put the baskets lower and stuff like that.
Lower? Did you see BG? I sent you her dunk.
Dude,
I mean, it was a tomahawk throwdown.
Dude, she took
with the
15
right
steps.
hand.
Brittany Griner took 15 steps and barely. She's 6'8".
6'9".
Her vertical
6'9".
must be. Oh my God. Her vertical must be 3 inches. It must be 3 inches. She barely dunked it, and I'm like. And people are like, and of course, here's another thing that I think pisses people off about WNBA. A, they bitch about salary. They don't make any money. Mm-hmm. They don't draw in any money. So therefore, it's like, you're lucky you're even getting paid that. If the NBA went there, blah, blah, blah. But then like SportsCenter and TSN, they treat the WNBA like they're children. Like, look at this dunk. Wow, she got it. Everybody's like, what's up? And then I just look at the comments. Mm-hmm. Oh, God. So funny. But Brittany Griner, she's 6'9". She could barely dunk, and it said that was the first dunk of the year. How is that possible?
You know, when I see her play, outside of just in complete admiration with her ability to dominate in the low post, you know, she's got...
If you watch Brittany Griner...
No, she's got an arsenal.
If you watch Brittany Griner...
Power game.
If you saw that clip, and you tweeted out, God, that was awesome, you're lying. You're lying. Now, the one girl...
They use smaller balls, you know.
Yeah, I know. Of course. But the other girl, I should give her a shout out because she broke records with a 3-pointer. That was cool. Mm-hmm. That was fucking awesome. But 3-pointers are...
Sue Bird?
I don't know who it was, but it was a white girl.
Yeah, Sue Bird, she's dating Rapinoe.
Cool.
Megan Rapinoe, the girls soccer player. The World Cup is going on right now.
Yeah, and they're kicking ass, I think, aren't they?
Well, they played one game against Vietnam. I watched the game with Chloe, by the way. And the Vietnamese girls, great food, by the way, in Vietnam. I would never.
Hey, Vietnam kicked our ass. They kicked France's ass. They've kicked a lot of people's
Did we lose
ass.
that war?
Fuck yes.
You think we did?
Vietnam?
I've heard we've never lost a war.
What? We got shit kicked.
By Vietnam.
Hell yeah. In their territory, in their jungle, they shit kicked us. And then the soldiers came back, and the American people shit kicked the soldiers. They hated the soldiers.
Did they?
Yes.
For losing?
No, just for being in war because it was televised. It
wasn't their fault.
I know, but it doesn't matter. People here were so anti-war, and they treated the soldiers who were stuck in the jungle, not even knowing what the fuck's going on. They treated them like shit when they got back. It was a terrible war. We got sucked in to the communist fucking attraction.
Who was the president at that time?
In '69, you had Johnson.
Okay.
And who's the president? We got killed, dude.
It wasn't Nixon or anything like that.
Nixon was in the 70s. Maybe Nixon was part of that. Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Ford.
The Ford? Somewhere like, I'm kind of blanking. But they got their ass kicked, dude. They totally got their ass kicked. And it was tough, man. Jungle warfare. The most difficult
Brody,
thing.
that's a clue to maybe look that up to see who the...
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah,
he
okay,
is.
it's Nixon. And then who's before Nixon? I forgot.
It was, well, someone got kicked out, didn't they?
Yep.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
So I was right. Okay.
I was just reading about them recently on the plane, actually, because I looked up to see when JFK was the president.
Yeah.
And
Before all that shit happened.
And I was reading them all about all these presidents, man. It's kind of crazy.
It's great. No, I know. It's awesome. It's awesome. I love that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, the most difficult thing in war at that particular time with the jungle warfare was you'd have guys, there was trenches, dude, dug in to the soil for miles and miles and miles, and you would never see it. And they'd have booby traps everywhere, and you'd send a couple of these fucking young Marines in there with just a flashlight and a gun, and they'd have to trek through all these fucking miles and miles, kill people there, bombs going off, the thing's caving in on you. Like, imagine doing that. God awful. You got snakes, you got bugs, you got malaria, you got fucking, they're everywhere. They're booby traps everywhere. You're stuck. It rains for 40 days straight. You're like, what the fuck is this? That was so hardcore. You talk about fucking athlete's foot, take your boot off, wading through 40 days of water, and look at your feet. Oh, God. Man, war ain't good. I was After 9/11, I'm like, yeah, let's go get them. Let's go get them. Let's go get them. And you get stuck in Iraq. You're trying to take over Afghanistan. Afghanistan, you can't take that country over. I don't give a fuck who you are. You can't. That it's so hunkered down via mountains and just terrain. That's so. They're so smart. They're embedded into the hillsides. You can't
like
take.
they know their territory.
Fuck yes.
They're hiding in places you'll never find them.
We have the best everything we couldn't conquer. They can't conquer Afghanistan. So hardcore there, dude. Just like Vietnam.
Why? Because of their ability to like hide
because of the terrain. Just like the U.S.
What's the landscape in Afghanistan?
Oh, they have 3 different huge.
It's not desert.
It's everything. 3 different big mountain ranges that you can't come in, you can't come out, you can't fly in, can't fly out. It's nuts. But is it developed in the mountains there? Hell no.
Do they have little ski resorts or anything?
Oh,
like
Andy,
I'm joking.
Please
go ahead.
But what do you think the hardest country to take over would be? What do you think?
Okay, hang on.
It's pretty easy.
Well, the United States.
You're goddamn right. It would be. Why do you think that is?
Well, our military, number one.
Okay, never mind that.
Mm-hmm.
But even like an invasion here, take away the military.
Uh-huh.
Take away.
Do you think it's the amount of gun owners?
You fuck. Yes.
I think that's what it is.
Think about it. If you're China or Russia or Iran or North Korea or whatever, and shit goes down, and you go into middle of the United States and you try to conquer, just like we did over in fucking the desert, where you're conquering, you're trying to take over these little towns. They didn't have any weapons over there. They don't have any. They had our weapons and they stole and this, that, and the other. Imagine going through middle Missouri and trying to take down every subdivision, every little town. Everybody has weapons. It'd be
Not everybody.
Yes, they do.
I was at a friend's house Saturday
There's
night.
more weapons than people.
I was at a friend's house Saturday night, and there wasn't a single gun owner in the house.
Because you live in Nerdville. They're going to take your fucking subdivision right over.
Hey, one other player that could get moved from Toronto, too, is that Connor Timmins defenseman. But, again, you're only saving a little over $1 million. No, I'm looking at how they're going to trim money, dude. You got Matt Murray, the goaltender, right? Got some options there. You got Nylander, obviously. But, who's got the cap space to take him on? No one can even sign Tarasenko, right?
Yeah, where's he at?
He's in Florida. It was funny, man, because I was texting with him. Like, there was like a picture on the internet. Twitter, by the way, changing their logo from the bird to an X. Yeah. Don't get confused by that.
Well, fucking Twitter needs a.
It shows our imperfections in everybody, by the way.
The
X does.
Elon, who I like, had this sort of. He said that you're gonna be able to monetize Twitter. And it really hasn't come out that way yet. And it's odd because they'd probably make so much money if people were able to make money off of their following on Twitter, which would benefit me and you. But it just hasn't come to fruition yet. I believe if you're a big dog, a couple big dogs I saw, they got 1 million followers, posted 10 grand they made in a month of clips. And they got clips getting fucking tons of views. So it's really weird. Elon needs to fix that. But he's got so much shit going on, man. I'll give you an example. I read today that there's an asteroid in a cluster of asteroids, but they could see it. Mm-hmm. They could see it consistently.
Who can see it? The scientists?
Yes, they could see it with fucking the Hubble, whatever it is, whatever the big satellites are. I think Hubble is out now, and there's a new one in, but I could be wrong.
There's also technology. They know when sharks are in the area, too.
Because you have drones. Jesus Christ, Andy. But don't change the subject. But there's an asteroid out there that's made of gold, nickel, and iron. It's supposed to be worth.
Bring it on, baby.
10
trillion.
Quintillion dollars.
Oh, that's the next level ahead of trillion.
I think it's one more up in trillion.
Yeah, because Ty was asking me the other day, what's the highest number?
I think quintillion
is the highest number.
No, I think numbers are infinity.
Okay. Oh, but, infinity.
Yeah, kind of. But I think
it doesn't stop.
So Elon's like, I'm getting SpaceX up on that motherfucker and go check it out. This asteroid. And this
where is it?
It's in the mix. It's up in the it's far.
And how do we know what it's made out of?
Because you could probably detect the way
is there
shines
gold up there?
Yes. How do you think everything happened on Earth? Everything created on Earth. How do you think that happened? Came from fucking asteroids. Came from outer space. Our planets collide. The Earth collided with another planet
to create the Earth.
and then it created the moon.
Yeah.
And then like all these asteroid impact, there's another.
I
there's
know
there's
the
like
historical.
well, like a billion years later, then all these like impacts started happening, and that's where we got all our material and stuff.
I learned a lot in
and we got our water.
I learned a lot in Cape Cod.
Dude, Cape Cod, yeah, you could learn some stuff there. It's all good.
That's where the Quakers were.
Do you ever watch just like YouTube videos on how the Earth was made? It's really interesting.
I'll watch that today.
And listen,
I will. That honestly
so good.
would be interesting.
And it's new too, so it's not like like sometimes you look up those like from the early '90s. I'm like, no.
Like you're in the 4th grade
Yeah,
watching a movie on the projector,
yes.
and you're literally falling asleep and there's drool all over you.
But now I'll sit there and get my mind right and just watch how the Earth was made. I was kind of mad at Dan Girardi a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, you didn't like what he said about you?
Well, I just felt like...
I thought it was a great story. And do you think it's accurate? I mean, do you have any problems with the inaccuracies of the report?
No.
He acted like... He came across...
like I was a bad teammate, I thought.
Like you didn't care about winning.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't about winning.
Yeah.
Because the response is... Oh, we already won the OHL championship, so who cares about the Memorial Cup? Like you wouldn't have been upset about losing.
Yeah. Okay, so Dan Girardi was on Spittin' Chicklets. I love all of them.
He's cool though, man.
But I always get nervous.
I didn't even know you played with him.
Yeah, we had a loaded team. I got traded to Guelph. I told you the story. My buddies were in town.
Yeah, right.
And I walked in.
That was a great story.
Everybody's crying. I thought.
You want to tell that again, or?
Well, you want to tell a story? I mean, these are pretty big deal.
No, that's a huge story.
My buddies were in town. I get traded to Guelph.
Like your buddies from St. Louis were in town.
Yes, and we're partying all night before hardcore. And I go to my billets, and there's cars in the driveway. I'm like, oh, what's this? And everybody's in the basement. And they're crying.
The whole team was over.
Whole team was over. I didn't even know. I had my buddies in town. Fucking stayed up all night. I didn't sleep.
You guys were in Windsor.
My eyes were black.
Was this so? Your friends from St. Louis.
Yeah.
And I know these guys. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine like young eyes wide open in Windsor. Because I remember the first time I went to Windsor, I was like, oh my god, this place, a place like this actually exists.
Whatever you wanted.
And so you're out partying all night long. Yeah. You go back to your billet's house, and all of a sudden, all your teammates are there.
My teammates are there, and they're in the basement, and my billets are crying. And I'm like so weirded out because we did weird things that night. And I was kind of worried about it because it was pretty hardcore what we're doing, and there's girls involved and stuff. And I was like, fuck. I'm like, am I fucked?
Was Robert involved?
Who?
Robert.
Who's Robert? Oh, God. Robert's here. I mean, Robert was so funny today.
Oh,
who the fuck is Robert?
Hey, while you're doing the dishes. Oh, did I tell you what Robert did today? Hey, Robert.
Robert wouldn't do that.
Robert just joined the club.
Robert joined the club. Well, actually, we're gonna have a drink together. We're so excited. Anyway, so I'm at when I come back to my billet house.
Hold on, I only have 5 minutes because Robert's calling.
Honey, Robert's here. Anyway, so I go to billets. They're all crying. I'm like, what the fuck? Did I do something crazy? Yeah, I did. But like, you got traded. I'm like, oh, thank God. So we all partied that night. I had to go to Guelph the next day. And like I'm in my own world, man. Like I'm already set to go. I know I'm going to go pro the next year. So I go there.
How many games are left?
Fucking half the season.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. So you're at trade deadline, so it's like
20 games or something.
Yeah, 30 games maybe.
Okay.
And so anyway, go there, play awesome. We kicked everybody's ass. You know, did well, scored some big goals at big time, even in playoffs. It was awesome, man. And they were soft and they needed me, and it worked. But then Memorial Cup comes around. My mom and dad are there. My brother's up there. You know, we're all partying.
Where was it?
It was in Kelowna. We're all partying.
Beautiful.
Like, we're all partying, okay? So we lose the first 2 games in overtime, and then we lost, and it's like kind of whatever. But my mom and dad are up there, and I'm done with juniors. Like, my junior career is over. And
officially ended.
It's over.
Yeah.
I'm going pro next year no matter what. I'm going pro.
Did you turn pro after the Memorial Cup?
Yeah.
Like right away?
Yeah.
Like, did you go to the American League that year?
Yeah, it was 04 lockout year where I had 45 fights. And if that was an NHL year, I would have got called up to the show as a 20-year-old. I would have got called up that year.
Yeah, so you played 29 games in the regular season, then 22 more in the playoffs.
Yep, 22 more. Yeah. Did pretty good. And so anyway, it's over. We party that night because we're out of it. And I meet up my mom and dad before we get on the bus, and they had all this extra beer because they had to go to the airport, and they put it in a trash bag with a bunch of ice, and I go, and we're so like excited.
Oh, your mom and dad did that?
Yeah, my mom and dad. That was my mom and dad's beer.
So where'd you get it?
They met me in the parking lot because they were going to the airport, and they had to get rid of all their beer because they couldn't take it on the plane. So I take this. I go, hell yeah, give me that. And I had ice in it, and there's a big trash bag. But my mom and dad.
Is that normal on a junior bus?
No.
Okay, no one's bringing beer on the bus.
No, but I didn't give a fuck.
Right.
because we were celebrating the end of my junior career and on to make some money and to play pro. So I'm just in my own mindset. Not like I was busting my ass all year for these guys. I fought everybody. It was awesome year. And
Ryan Callahan was on that team.
Kevin Klein,
Martin St. Pierre,
Kevin Klein, Daniel Girardi,
Daniel Paillet,
me, fucking just out
Matt
there.
Ryan,
Matty Ryan. So anyway, and so right before we get on the bus, I'm in La La Land because I know I'm going pro. I was in my own world the whole time in juniors anyway, so it didn't matter. Not that you're a bad teammate, but my mom and dad are like, here, take this beer, and I took it on the bus. And Dave Barr, who was my coach in 2012 with the Devils, who was our GM, goes, "We're not having that." And we had a tug of war. He didn't say that. Oh, I had a tug of war with him.
What do you mean?
Yes.
You were like, no, I am bringing this on? He was like trying to get it out of your hands?
Yes.
And you wouldn't give it to him?
No.
He was the GM?
Yes.
Where was the bus going?
To the airport, prior to leave to go home to 12.
Okay, so you flew, obviously.
Yeah, but I just wanted to party before we went. Dude, I'm in La La Land.
Okay.
Dude. And so I had to like, give it to me. He's like, no. And I don't even know if I won.
And
that.
everyone's pissed, right? You guys go, you didn't win a game there, did you?
No, we just lost 3. 2 in overtime.
Okay.
Played good. It's all good. Like, it's just,
it was
whatever.
over.
It's like, it's fucking over. It's over. On to the next. So that was my mindset. It wasn't like, fuck everybody. It was just more like, my parents gave me the beer.
And for people who don't, like, the drinking age in Canada is 18, right?
Yeah,
So
I was of age.
You're of age.
I was of age.
Yeah.
And I just didn't care. And I just thought Dan, and what is he supposed to say? That he's like, he didn't give a fuck. And I'm like, I did. But at that particular moment, I didn't care about Dave Barr. I didn't care about having beer. I'm gone.
Dave Barr, former St. Louis Blue,
awesome,
by the way.
Awesome guy. Love him. He traded for me. And it all worked out, but he was pissed.
Was he that pissed at you, though?
Fuck yes.
So who won
embarrassing.
Who won the tug of war?
I don't remember.
Did the beer make it on the bus?
I don't remember.
You really don't?
No.
You can't like recall. Like,
no, because me and Dave.
Did you have a beer or not, Cam?
I don't remember the bus ride.
Like, do I need to become a hypnotist?
Dude, this was 25 years ago. What are you talking about?
What are those guys' names? Who are the what are they called? The mind readers?
I don't know. But the point is,
what do they call those guys?
No idea, Andy.
But they're called mediums, actually.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But I don't remember that part. I just remember that.
Let me look at you.
It was embarrassing.
Let me look at you.
I probably did.
Let me study.
I probably won that.
No.
I
can probably.
So anyway, it was funny. Like when I saw Dave Barr, when he got hired by Lou with the Devils, we just laughed about it.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, yeah.
So they hired him?
We'll get him on. He's hilarious.
Dave Barr was great.
He's great.
I'd never really met him.
Dude, he was so good to me, man. And I look at him, I go, oh, my God, I haven't talked to you since. I go, dude, I am so sorry. He's like dying laughing. Like, dude, you were in your own. He goes, Cam, I don't blame you. Like, he was cool about it.
He's 62. I knew he played for St. Louis.
He was so cool.
And I knew he played for
I just don't want people to
Detroit.
think I was a bad teammate. Like, I'm like, fuck you, fuck. I kind of was.
Was he the coach or the GM?
He's a GM.
Because he was a coach there.
Sean Camp was a coach. Awesome. He just had everybody was cool on that team, dude.
And Dave Barr was an assistant in the NHL for a number of years.
Yeah, played for the Blues, played for Red Wings.
Up until 2020, dude. He was an assistant with San Jose.
He was a fantastic human being.
Did you ever run into him in the NHL?
Yeah, he was my coach.
Oh,
Would I just tell you that?
Yeah, you said that. Devils, 4 years he was there.
We went to the Stanley Cup together. He would bag me every day in a good way. Him and Adam Oates.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Did he ever talk about that story?
Yes, the first time I saw him. I just told you that. I go, oh. He goes, first thing I said to him, I go, I am so sorry about that. He goes, Cam, it's all good, man.
Oh, you felt bad about it?
Yes.
Well, see, listen,
it was embarrassing.
Now looking back on it.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
You should have told your parents, I can't take that on the bus, dude. I was lost.
I didn't sleep the night before. Me and my mom and dad were like hugging each other, like, let's go.
You didn't sleep. Oh, because
we're partying.
You lost the game the night before. This isn't right after the loss getting on the bus, though. So is it the day of the game?
No. It was the day after.
Gotcha.
We were running around naked in the hotel room.
Okay.
I remember Matty Ryan.
Who's doing that?
Matty Ryan had a thong on, yelling and fucking crushing. They're like, crazy. We're partying all night. And I just was in party mode. I was done. The season's over. It's such a long grind. I know the next chapter's in line. And so I had a tug of war match with Dave Barr, my GM.
You weren't giving up that beer.
I wasn't giving up anything. I'm gone, man. They don't own me anymore, you know? Like, I just was, like, in my own world.
Yeah.
It's all good. But I just didn't want Dan Girardi to think I was a bad teammate. That's all. It kind of looked like I was a fucking disaster, although I was, so I guess it makes sense.
Well, Brandon Montour, dude, I don't know if he would ever do that.
No, he's normal.
He was an OHL kid.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't do that. He could do it now, though. He can do whatever the fuck he wants now.
Yeah, you can.
Loved having him on this episode,
what a
man.
good dude he is.
Like one of my favorite interviews we've had in quite some time.
Goddamn good dude.
People ask me all the time, well, who's your favorite interviews? Like, if anyone ever asked me to like rank my top 5, I swear to God I can't do it. It's like my own kids. Like, who do you like more? I like all my kids the same.
Yeah.
I do. No. You don't know what it's like. Cam's like, well, I like one of my dogs more than I like my cat more than my dogs.
They're all pretty precious to me.
Yeah, well, there you go. So
but when you have 290 kids, you don't like all of them.
Okay. Well, I can tell you which episodes that weren't
like
my
you're
favorite.
like Philip Rivers has his 10th kid. Like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
You won't give him attention.
Was it 10 or 11? Good for him.
Ridiculous.
Hey, I got to give a shout out. I was watching this video. Ty watches all these YouTube videos of like hockey video nonstop. And this guy was he was a roller hockey player for the Columbus Heat with one hand. Just dangling dudes.
It's cool.
And I'm wondering if that's the guy who you thought.
No. This guy was a military man.
He might have been too.
Andy, there's other people with only one hand. Like Andy tries to tie in stories with it. No, that guy has nothing to do with the dude I'm talking about.
Hey, by the way, I'm emceeing this year's hockey St. Louis Hockey Hall of Fame.
Good, you should.
Ceremony.
Yeah, good, you should.
Yeah.
I think my mom's getting a little shout out there too.
Well, then I'll be the one to give her the shout out.
Can you? Because I sent all the pictures over her.
I really would like you to come to it.
If you're going to talk about my mama, I'll be there.
Well, you got to let me know.
You got to let me know. Like, it's not about me.
Is it in my script?
Are you going to talk about my mom? Because if you are, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But I'm telling Rupper to like hook me up with a hotel room for the night. We might just stay the night. I
Yeah,
think you and Kate should do the same thing. I'll get you guys a room right next door.
I mean, I probably would do that. That wouldn't be bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'd do that. Get a nice little room service. Go party around a little bit. I don't know where you're going to go downtown.
It's not downtown this year.
Oh, where's that?
I think it's like in St. Charles or something.
Oh, okay. That's even better.
Yeah.
Be better if the best would be Chesterfield, but all good.
Mm-hmm. Well, for you, it would be like in
Chesterfield.
St. Albans.
No, you don't have to be in St. Albans. Just be in Chesterfield.
Oh. So anyway, we're emceeing that. So I'm looking forward to it. And I think
That'd be cool.
Perry Turnbull's going in this year.
Yes. Big Paradog. Who else?
I got to give there's a bunch of guys going in. Schooley, Derek Schooley.
Derek Schooley, who my first hockey camp ever, Derek Schooley, fit and form, baby. I'll give you a shout out. When I got inducted to the Hall of Fame, Amateur Hall of Fame.
Head coach of Robert Morris University.
I gave him a shout out, Derek Schooley.
You did?
Yes, I did. I gave him a shout out because that's where it started. He started training me at 9 years old. When I first put on skates, 9 years old.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Jack Combs, by the way.
Yes, Lindenwood, assistant coach.
Yes.
Gosh dang right.
And I told Rick Zombo, I said, that is a great hire.
Damn right. And people probably don't know Jack Combs.
They don't. And
it's all good.
He's a local hockey player who's played professional for, several years, played in the OHL, had a 100-point season in the OHL.
Yeah. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, I just think it's a great hire.
Yep.
I like seeing, if you're going to have a D1 program here locally, I like seeing some local flavor involved.
I agree.
With it.
I agree.
Otherwise, is it really a local team? Is it really a local program? We've got so many hockey people who have come out of this town. Is it? And Rick Zombo obviously is a local guy. He didn't grow up in St. Louis, but he played for the Blues for several years and raised his family here.
He's got a good gig.
His son Dominic played for Nebraska Omaha. Yep. Played in the USHL.
I love Rick Zombo.
So they're local. I just like having a local coaching staff. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. Good for you, Jackie Combs, man.
Yeah.
We love giving these local guys shout outs. We want them to all be successful, of course.
Ridiculous hands, by the way.
Yeah. Probably the best I've ever seen.
Among the best. I think he's maybe the most underrated, skilled player to ever come out of our
I've seen some skilled ass dudes, man, and he's up there.
Not many more than him, dude. I'm talking about from St. Louis.
Oh, I'm talking about everything.
Yeah. Oh, I'm seeing what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm saying from David Perron to Eloy Kovalchuk. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Who's the best hands? Who's the best hands you've ever seen?
You know what?
In person.
TJ Oshie's got some damn good hands.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Mm-hmm. In tight, toe drag, buries you with his shoulder.
Yeah.
Like he implemented having good hands and toe dragging with sticking his shoulder into your or into your chest and put you on your ass.
He could also he had like eyes in the back of his head where he knew where a defender was coming from and he could avoid a hit as well as anybody else.
No doubt. And he can make weird in tight moves where he could lift the puck up real quick and just like boom. Top
I want to
shot.
give TJ a shout out, man, because he put something out heartfelt the other day. I guess one of his close friends
Yeah,
from high school teammate died.
Yeah, I saw that.
Passed away.
What was that all about?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but he's killing it with his War Road hockey
Tell
shit.
him to hook. Is he gonna come on ever?
Like eventually.
Like, can he come on?
Yeah, I was talking to Eric Johnson about that the other day.
How about EJ too?
Like,
Jesus
EJ,
Christ,
are you ever coming
EJ?
on, dude? What do we need? He's like, yes. Of course I will.
Can he come on, please? Like, I took care of him. We hung out. We had such good times. We had some weird times together.
I think he's afraid to come on
Man,
because of that.
I know, but like,
he's
it's
still
over.
playing. He's
it's
still
over.
No, he's still playing.
Dude, it's that.
Where's he at now? Buffalo?
Yes. That scenario.
He'll be a good fit there.
Dude, that scenario's over with. That Lake of the Ozarks knee fucking bullshit. It's over. It's gone. You got $70 million bucks.
Yeah,
in the bank.
the Buffalo Sabres don't care about that.
They don't give a fuck. The Blues don't care anymore. It's over. EJ, you were great, man. Like, I blame myself for a lot of things with that shit because we were going hard and you were young and I was young and we partied hard. But it all works out, man. It all worked out. Come on and tell your story. People are proud of you.
Come tell your story.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That's like our tagline. Come tell your story.
Come tell your story.
Hey, the Brandon Montour story's fucking awesome.
Dude, he's awesome.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Hair Club and hairclub.com. 800-279-7878, baby. Check out Hair Club and go there today. Check out our landing page, hairclub.com/Cam Strick. The Illinois Recovery Center, Cam.
Man, oh man. Dude.
Some of my favorite people we've ever had, that we've ever come across.
Chrissy boy.
Here on the
Eric Conley.
Cam and Strick
My
podcast.
boys.
It's the new premier inpatient substance abuse facility. It's in Swansea, Illinois, not far from St. Louis.
Not far at all.
But they'll take you from and no matter where you're listening from. You could be in Germany. We get listeners from Sweden, Germany.
Oh man, if the people that message me,
oh my God, from all over,
dude.
The UK.
You got to check out this place.
That's right.
I know you might be in Canada, you might be in Minnesota, you might be in northern Illinois, you might be in southern Missouri, you might be in fucking Louisiana. I had somebody in Louisiana listening. Like, check this place out. I know you guys are struggling. And a lot of people, their kids, their 17-year-old kids struggling.
Really?
That to me. Like the 40-year-old man, like, I'll talk to you. Like, what's up? But when he tells me about his son, who's just jacked up on different things and he can't control him and he's a good kid, but he's just like down different paths, that makes me sad.
What do you recommend? How do you handle, like, when it's a teenager?
Oh, that's the hardest part, man. That's the hardest part because I look at, okay, fine. You see who they're hanging out with. You could always tell what your kid is doing when you see who the fuck they're hanging out with. Just look. Look at the girls. Look at the guys. And evaluate them. And once you evaluate them, you'll know what your kid's getting into. He might hide it from you, but his dipshit buddies, when you see him and you look into their soul and you smell their clothes and you look at their car and you talk to this, that, and the other, you'll know what your kid's up to. See who they're hanging out with.
And that's the first sign.
Yeah.
Now, they always talk about, is he sleeping a lot? Is he lethargic?
They are
not eating
at that age. They are lethargic at that age.
I'll tell you what, man. And my daughter, she's not even a teenager yet. She's 12 years old. But with cell phones and stuff, like, you really don't know what they're up to, dude. Like, they're
yeah, you do.
Well, they're talking to their friends all
no
the time.
No offense, but you could look at their phone and know exactly what's going on.
But they're in their room and shit like that. And I don't worry about that with her. I'm just saying.
Okay, if you're taking your wife's phone every day, you're in a jam. But if you're a 12-year-old daughter, you got to look at her phone once in a while. Who gives a fuck?
Oh, I do.
Fucking look at that. You want to see if that 15-year-old's texting her. And who is he? Oh, you got your license now? Oh. Who's your mom and dad? Where do you live? What are you doing? Let me look at your fucking eyes. You're taking my daughter?
Stop looking at me like that.
Well, sometimes I worry about you. I worry about Chloe.
I got it under control.
You got a 19-year-old picking Chloe up at 12. Andy's like, go ahead. Take him out. Have fun, guys. We're going to Barbie, Dad. Oh, okay. Here's money. Fuck, man.
You know I wouldn't do that.
I hope not.
Oh, my God.
I hope you're not naive like a fucking... Just don't be naive.
All I'm saying is, cell phones and stuff like that, man, they just kind of coop up in their room. And you got to look into that.
Look into that. Just see what's up, baby. No big deal. I'm your dad. You're 12 years old. I'm looking at your cell phone.
Is rehab usually necessary for a teenager, or can you just, like, say, quit doing the shit?
Depends on what they're into.
Yeah.
It depends on how deep they're into one specific thing. Like, what is it? Are you smoking weed? Okay, you could talk to them about that. Are they stealing money for painkillers? Now you're in a jam because you can't just get off of painkillers. Mm-hmm. He's going to think he's dying.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to do anything in school. He's going to be pissing He's going to be pissing out of his ass in school. You can't you can't function. You're done. You can't, you're sweating and you're like, So if he's on painkillers, now you got a problem. You're going to have to put him in something. If he's crushing booze, depends on how much booze is he crushing. Is he drinking Jack Daniels every day, or is he just stealing your beer? There's a big difference. If he's crushing Jack Daniels every day, now you might have to get him into rehab because he comes off of that. He might have a fucking seizure. How deep of alcohol is he into?
Do you believe in the gateway drugs?
I believe if
Remember
you
they
smoke...
they used to teach you the gateway drugs back in high school.
I've done it all, baby. And I do believe that. I believe if your kid's 15 years old and he's smoking weed in your basement and he's a lazy son of a bitch, he's not getting anything accomplished.
Seth.
Yeah, like dipshit fuckboy Seth, who's just smoking weed. What are you doing today? Take out the garbage. No, that kind of stuff. And then he's going to want to, you smoke weed. You're like, I like to feel different. Well, check this pill out. Mm-hmm. You'll feel even more different.
Yes.
Okay, snort this little white stuff. You'll feel even more. You'll feel really good.
Gateway.
You'll feel really good. Yeah. No, I do believe in that a little
bit.
Now, I also believe in that weed could help you when you get older.
I got you. Well, when it comes to the disease of addiction, getting help shouldn't be difficult, Cam. That's the one thing.
Not with...
And it's not with the Illinois Recovery Center. Their mission is to be the receiving hand when someone is seeking help. So the IRC, they deliver a comprehensive system of care that welcomes both the individual struggling as well as their families. We all know how important that is.
Beautiful setup there.
Here's the phone number. Talk about that.
It's a beautiful setup. Listen, when you're down and out, like little things help. Nice beds, happy rooms, big windows, seeing beautiful scenery, grass.
Yeah.
Like it just little things like that. It's a beautiful place, and it's run by beautiful people.
Gotcha.
And Chrissy Pondoff and Eric Conley and their group and their crew.
Yeah.
They are lovely, lovely people.
All right. I love it.
So you know.
So if you or someone you know wants to learn more about the IRC, Illinois Recovery Center, again, have them call 888-743-0971. 888-743-0971. You can always email them as well. info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com. So check it out, man. And listen, if you want to get in touch personally with either Eric or Chrissy, we can certainly make that happen. Have the direct pipeline. If you have any questions, you can reach out to any of us as well for that information in case you weren't able to find it or had issues getting in touch with somebody. Again, 888-743-0971. But you won't have any issues. Call that number. You can email them, like I said, info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com. Somebody will get back in touch with you. All right, First Form and firstform.com, Cam.
Yeah. You
talk about making yourself feel good in life. I mean, the best way to do it is with First Form, man.
Well, anytime you want to get out of, even like it's nice to have, the Illinois Recovery Center. When people get out of there, like what you want them to get into is working out. You finally have your emotion back.
The mental
and
focus,
so getting into working out and health and taking care of your body, that's why it's good to go from there right to First Form. They'll put you on the right track. It could be anybody. It could be a guy like me that needs to lose 30 pounds or somebody that was addicted to something. They finally came out and they feel normal again. Now they want to get and start looking good. Now they feel good. Like, man, I'm going to keep going. You go to First Form, they'll tell you everything what to do. They'll tell you how to work out. They'll tell you exactly what to eat. They'll tell you exactly what to do. And now you're like, oh, shit, I got a personal trainer. I just look at my fucking phone and they tell me what to do.
What's the first step, you think?
Of what?
First Form. If someone wants to say, hey, I want to change my life or enhance my life or just maintain my lifestyle. I would say
the first thing I would do is to get the right nutrition I need from them and then start my game plan. Not going 100 miles an hour off the bat. Like, okay, Nick from First Form.
First Form Nick, yes.
I'm just starting. I'm going to be sore as shit.
Where do
I haven't worked out. Yeah. Here's what you're going to do. Here's how we start. Here's the weights. Here's what the reps you need to do. And then we're going to go from there. You take a day off. You start this way. It's like you starting up working out.
Yeah, but here's what I would do. I would download the app.
Okay, yeah, download the app. That's what I'm talking about. Download the app, and then they'll tell you exactly what's going on. It's not like, here, take these 100-pound dumbbells and do squats with a lift. No.
Hey, will you meet me over there next week? Because I'm going back to work out.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I'll go in there again.
So will you
letting you in?
Will you meet me over there?
Do I need to be there for you?
If you want to,
do I need to be there for you?
No, you don't have to be.
Okay.
Because now,
I bet I do.
No. Because now I feel very comfortable walking in there.
I bet you do.
Well, they don't judge you or anything. You know?
No.
They're very accepting.
Dude, they're the best of the best.
I've been all over those peanut butter lovers bars, man. I mean, like, I am a peanut butter lover.
I got these protein sticks right yonder.
Those are great, too.
God, 20 grams of protein.
Ty, I made Ty, like, I didn't really have to make them, but I just said, hey, chomp one of these down on the way to the race.
So you allowed to eat these?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. They're so good. 20 grams of protein, man. Boom, right there.
I got him a...
Makes you horny.
Whoa, no.
Oh, yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, man.
Says who? Like, how do you know that?
Protein makes you horny, dude.
So you're telling... Oh, protein does in general.
Yes. Yeah, dude. Protein makes you horny.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. Listen, when you're horny, you're confident.
Mm-hmm.
When you're horny, you want to do things. You're like...
Oh, horny is confidence?
Kind of. Like, you feel... Well, for the most part, like... Not if you're a whack job and you're so horny and you can't get your rocks off and you got to beat your dick off 50 times a day. That's a different story. But, like, you got things going on in your life. You're looking pretty good and you walk around, you got a little testosterone flowing through your veins, and
you're confident.
You're confident in yourself.
Hey, firstform.com/Cam Strick. Whatever you order, check out their apparel too.
Oh God,
best workout clothes and lifestyle clothes you're gonna find anywhere.
So nice.
They got everything, head to toe, man, head to toe, everything. Hoodies. It's gonna be hoodie season before you know it.
I hope so.
We got to get through the dog days, but it'll be hoodie season before you know it. I love those First Form hoodies. Firstform.com/Cam Strick. Order everything from our link. We had a listener reach out. I got to get back to him today, who wanted to make sure he had the right link. He had ordered some stuff from our link, man. We appreciate that from the bottom of our hearts.
We love it. Appreciate that, guys.
Thank you so much.
And girls.
Bellman and Bellman.com, Cam. At Bellman, you get no what?
Swinging dicks.
No, what does that mean?
Well, it just means like a dipshit guy that comes out that it's like annoying, you know, kind of creeps your girl out.
Bellman Automotive, baby.
Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Swings her dick around.
You know who's a swinging dick?
Who?
Robert.
Yeah, Robert, man. Robert's going to get you, dude. What are you doing? Well, Robert says not to do that. Oh, okay. Who the fuck is Robert?
Yeah. You know, Robert's ordering those meals that are being delivered.
Robert wouldn't do this, Cam. What?
Robert's been talking. Oh, Robert's been there before.
Robert said something so funny today. He said...
Hey, that's the warning sign for all y'all at home, man.
No.
If your wife is coming home telling you everything, if she's relating everything to Robert.
Well, it doesn't even have to be everything. It's little subtle things here and there where you're like, she brought up Robert twice in 2 days.
Yeah, hey, listen, hey, Shelly.
It's not like she's going to come on back. Robert's the best. No, you'll know.
She doesn't even know she's doing it.
Like, if Kate even brought somebody up, I'd be like, who's that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'd care. Like, she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But it's like, if your girl comes up, she brings up a guy, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Then she brings up again.
Mm-hmm.
And then again.
Hey.
And you're like, who?
Yeah, Robert.
And then you look at him, he's got good hair. He's 6'2".
Okay.
I'm just saying.
These are all warning signs.
Now they're working together.
Oh, my God. They're on the same team on a project.
And they're doing well. And they're
having success.
Celebrating together. Like, we're going to go, we just did this. We're going to go celebrate.
So what's Robert's family doing? Well, he doesn't have a family.
He wants your family.
He's been divorced 3 times.
He wants your family.
No, Robert's been divorced 3 times.
He wants your family now. Fucking Robert. Fuck him.
I agree.
Hey, but that's on you too.
Yeah.
Like there's something that you're not doing as a man.
There's Roberts all over car dealerships all across North America.
Robert's coming out swinging his dick around.
And that's what he does. I mean, he pretty much works, at a lot of these different spots where
I know your husband.
Where they can engage.
He ain't that tough.
Yeah, so watch out for Robert. You don't get any Roberts either.
Fucking Robert.
At Bellman Automotive, man. They are the absolute best. They got the Buick GMC on one side of the street, Cam. On the other side, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, all located where?
Troy, Missouri.
Say hi to Danny Boy.
Hey, Danny.
And Kenny.
Kenny.
How about Dale?
Dale. The fuck.
Bellman and Bellman.com. Check it out today. Tesson Roofing, man. You talk about shit kickers.
Oh, God. Brett is a straight up shite kicking sound bitch.
Let me ask you this, man. These guys laying tar, doing roofing in this 100-degree weather.
So
I'm talking about the roofers now.
Dude, you got to have a good crew. Man, working concrete and roofing, like it's hard to have an established crew with you because people come in and out. They can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably go up to Brett and be like, hey, man, I can't get home today. Can you give me $200? And then Brett will give them $200 and they'll just leave and never come back.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always like a revolving door of finding good roofers. They have a great system and crew down because they all trust him. They respect him. They're all making money because they got work. They're in bed with the insurance companies. There's a reason why they're successful.
Yeah, but I want to make you money out there too. All these people, you want to save money. you got to get this Nano Shield, man. This cool roof coat is something they apply to your roof.
Yeah, dude.
Which
Coating.
They're doing this to like Fortune 500 companies. Like, and this is our guy, man. He's the preferred guy, the number one guy in the world that's applying this Nano Shield.
Yes, baby.
On all these major companies, Domino's Pizza, major Fortune 500 companies all over. And they're the ones that are doing it. And they coat your roof with it. Obviously, it maintains your roof. You don't have to worry about getting a new roof, for X number of years. But it saves you, 30%, if not more, Cam, on the actual cooling of your home your business in terms of the temperature without it versus the temperature inside your building or your residence when you have the Nano Cool Roof Coat, the Nano Shield.
Man, dude, you got to get that because this next month in St. Louis is hell. Literally, you feel like you're in hell. It's god awful. You need all the protection you can get. And your AC unit's just fucking running wild, man, trying to keep up. So you got to do the little things. Mm-hmm. These guys will take care of you.
It's a spray. It's almost like a paint.
Easy.
It's easy, they paint it on, dude.
They'll do it for you. Mm-hmm. It's all good.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Formulated to withstand extreme weather through superior adhesion, water, and hail resistance, Cam.
It's always funny. I always watch Brody. He's just texting people the whole time. Who are you texting the whole time, Brody? Oh, yeah.
Right now, you're doing schoolwork? On your cell phone?
Jeez. You're writing all that down?
I thought school doesn't start till September.
Are you learning anything? What the fuck
are you wasting your money?
Are you wasting time? I need a degree. What are you learning?
What do you need a degree in? In what? Oh, you want to be a teacher?
Oh, you do?
Oh, yes, you have to have a degree to be a teacher.
You want to be a teacher? Yeah, 2 more years. Okay. What class? Okay.
Gym teacher. That's the easiest gig,
That's
dude.
easy
And you know
as
what?
fuck.
PE teachers never get fired, too.
Dude. Yeah.
Summer's off.
What grade?
Oh, he wants to coach wrestling and baseball. Are you a baseball coach? Did you play baseball at high school? At North? Yeah. What position? I need some stats. Bring me some stats.
Brody will kick your ass.
Dude, I'm a hell of a baseball player.
Brody will beat you in wrestling right now. He'll pin you.
At wrestling?
He'll pin you in 2 seconds. If you guys fought, I'd put money on him.
You don't know that.
No, but
I'm a
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to him?
What is it?
Kamikaze.
Kamikaze, dude.
What are you gonna do to him? You gonna knock him out with what?
I'll probably come up with something.
He'll double leg you in 2 seconds.
That is not true.
What are you gonna do?
I'll come up with something. I said, Jesus.
Karate chop him.
Probably spray him with some
Spray?
nano shield.
Bear spray?
No, if I spray him with some nano. Oh, I am the bear spray. Probably spray you with some nano shield from Tesson Roofing.
Yeah, baby. Tesson Roofing.
10-year limited systems warranty available for renewal upon inspection. So, listen, it's good for 10 years. You can't get a new one until it's been at least 10 years.
It's pretty good stuff, man. They're the real deal.
Saves you lots of money. We're here to save you money. Plus a tax deduction, too. Ask about that. All right, let's get to Brandon Montour, baby.
Great
Love this interview, man. What a season this guy had. What a playoff he had. And now he's rehabbing. He's a new dad.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of good stuff going on right now, man. Listen to this interview. Enjoy it. Brandon Montour on the Cam Strick podcast, baby. Hairclub.com, baby.
Oh, you're damn right.
Go to our landing page today, hairclub.com/Cam Strick. Regrow, restore, and replace that hair.
Don't wait.
Now to the interview.
Hey, guys. What's happening?
What up, homeboy?
Come on now, Monty. What's going on? What are you doing?
Not much, guys. Just got out of Florida and did my first travel with the whole family. Got my wife, newborn baby, the 2 dogs, and then I flew down my mom just to give us some help. So
to go back home?
To go back, yeah, just to Ontario. So we're here for a couple weeks just to get some rehab going and start a little bit with my trainer here, and then before we know it, we'll be back in Florida.
How long's that drive to Ontario from Florida? Like, take us through that. And how was the mother? Was it your mom or the mother-in-law in the car? Who was in the car with you?
No, it was my mom. And we flew. So we did commercial.
Flew, Andy.
We did commercial, and we priced some privates just because it's a pain in the ass with 2 dogs and now a newborn. And I'm like, let's do commercial and we'll see how it goes. But just so happens that there was 2-3 other dogs besides ours on the same flight. So what we did was we just flew from Fort Lauderdale to Buffalo, and then got the hell out of there, and it's about an hour 10, hour 20 from there.
People in Buffalo were like, Monty's back.
Stay here, please.
Hey, we should have never gotten rid of you.
Hey, how much was
how much was that PJ?
I don't think people understand how much like private jets are. Even like the shitty little guys, you know.
Well,
like
that's what I'm like. Let's. It's the first flight. Let's try to see how we do. You know, let's experience it. Obviously, my mom's the savior and helped out with the baby while we took care of the dogs. And our dogs are crazy as it is. So they see another dog, they're either barking or they're fucking trying to, get at them.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. They're classified as service dogs, and we get them on the flight fine. But if they have any problems in their sight, they're definitely going to be barking at
But
them.
the PJ was too expensive?
I mean, we were going to do it, but we just wanted to see how this was. It's either, PJ's what, 20, 25K to fly home and then that back, and commercial flight, if you can grind it out and take it's a 2.5 hour flight, and it's $2-3 grand, just for that. So I'm like,
just grind it.
Let's grind it out. It's 2.5 hours. If my mom or her mom, when we had nobody helping, then I'd probably consider it, but.
Yeah, I'd probably do the PJ. Just so you know.
The little puddle jumper.
Hey, no, man, but like if you had, now that you know, like, do you feel like you made the right choice, or were you like, oh man, we should have gotten the PJ. Yeah. We should have done the PJ, or were you okay with flying commercial?
I'm still considering it for other times. This is not going to be the only time I'm traveling back and forth. So, if we got somebody willing to come with us for help, and this is just one newborn, we have another one. I mean, I don't know if you guys have, obviously kids, but
I know
you guys have experienced it too. So, it's once you have a few kids and, some dogs, I couldn't imagine how crazy that would be.
I got the animals. Andy's got the kids.
And the animals.
Andy's got one doggy too.
In fact, we were just out of town. I just got back, and like we left our dog at like an overnight kennel. Every time we leave him at this place, he comes back with this like terrible rash. I don't know if it's anxiety or what the deal is.
Andy.
So like that's the last time we're doing that. So I told my wife, hey, from now on, every vacation has to include the dog.
Dude, that's a pain. No, I bet you won't do that. I bet you $1 million you won't do. Hey, how's your place? How's your place back home in Ontario, man? Like, tell us what your setup looks like.
Yeah, no, we don't have a place. We just, we run around a lot because my wife, she's from California. My mom obviously from here. So now that we have the newborn, I think we're trying to find something up north at a cottage. We'll probably pull trigger with something this summer.
Muskoka?
Somewhere up there. It doesn't need to be on those lakes, but a nice lake. It's close to obviously my parents. It's about 2.5 hours from there. But depending on what we do, it's usually a month or two in Newport or somewhere in California, and then a month or two in Toronto. And we just been renting. I just rented a place. I just rented a place and a nice Airbnb with a yard for a month. So we'll do that, and then it'll be season again. So
that's cool,
dude. You're doing it right.
You're doing it cool,
I love how you're doing it, and then you'll figure shit out as you move along. What about in Florida? What do you have going on there? You buy a house in Florida?
Yeah. No, I've had a place for two years now. Just off the beach there. So
you're about to get a bigger one, just so you know.
Homeboy,
you're about to get a bigger one in another year, just so you know. Okay, I want to see what that
you will be flying private, just so you know.
Yeah, next time. Hey, tell the dogs this won't last forever. We're flying private next time.
Oh, hopefully my agent and the management are listening to this.
Oh, they'll be listening. We'll get you that deal. We'll get you that deal. Hey, man, that's unbelievable. You mentioned the rehab though. Like, where are you at with the rehab? Like, how you feeling right now? Yeah. Like, when do you get back on the ice and start doing some hockey related stuff?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, and especially with me, like, I've had a number of injuries, but nothing to this extent, and so it's a torn labrum, and I don't know if you guys have had that, but you've had teammates at least, and they say 4 to 6 months is the recovery. Obviously, team and surgeons and everyone's very conservative, which makes sense. There's no rush to rush into it, especially with the long playoffs we had. But we finished that last game 5 the Wednesday. And then I told my trainers right away, I'm like, let's get this surgery done and get this going. So I had surgery that Friday.
Wow.
And then we had, end of the year parties and stuff like that. And, I already had surgery done. So, so that was, about a month ago. I just got my sling off. and now it's just kind of, still recover for the next month before I can even probably lift somewhat weights. And then I'm thinking probably sometime in September, I'm hoping to get back on the ice and get going. It's feeling pretty good, and I'd like to push it if I could, but obviously, be smart about it. And then I guess right from there, we'll see how it goes and see how I feel and see how much training and, lifting and strength and, things I can do this summer and before I get back to Florida. And then, that's when I get back on the ice and, time will tell with that.
Yeah. The key is to be smart about it. There's no doubt. But when did it happen? Do you remember the exact play or the game that it happened? Like how long in the playoffs were you playing with the torn labrum?
No, it happened, the last series. I forget what game it happened. I forget what game it happened, but it was just honestly like it happened before and during the season, and it was sore, but nothing crazy where I had to like really notice about it. Left it for a little bit, and then I started to get used to it, and then it completely happened the last series. Game 1 or 2 it happened, and at that point I just had like, hey, I gotta. We got to figure something out here. And then I wasn't expecting it to be completely torn. We did an MRI and x-rays, and I had 5 phone calls heading back home from our docs and trainers saying that, we got to get surgery. And I'm just kind of confused about it, but I'm like, let's just get through this series. We have 5, 6, 7 games left and worry about it after.
Yeah, man, I had the same injury. You're going to be just fine. The only bitch of it is like, so you did your surgery and then you have like your your year-end parties. You got to meet with everybody. You're probably going out doing things.
Weddings.
Yeah. Were you like bumping into people like, fuck, you're in your sling? Like,
that was the biggest pain in the ass is like, so after game one, I went back. I'm sure you guys heard the story. I went back for baby to be born.
Yep.
And then so baby was born for probably a week, and then I had surgery. So and my wife had a C-section, so she was, pretty well laying in her room, and I had one arm, and I just got it off. The baby's 6 weeks now, and I just got it off after a month. So it's like everyone's kind of injured, and a little bit of a shit show. But obviously, lucky that we have some help. So you got to thank everyone in our family.
Yeah, all right, so you brought it up, so let's talk about it. So after game 1, you find out that your wife's in labor, so you fly all the way back, which is not an easy trip, especially if your shoulder's all mangled. And you're going.
Yeah, it was a shit show. So we had the 11 days. We had 11 days off before the or between series.
You could have had it done then. No just so you know, Brandon. Come on now.
Figure it out.
She thought her water broke, so we actually went in on like say day 3 of that break, and everything cleared. She went home, and we're like, okay, hopefully it comes in the next week, so like we don't have to deal with worrying about it before game 1. And then sure enough, I guess it happened. Her water broke, I guess, completely right before we stepped on the ice to play. She told our travel guy not to tell me. Obviously, nobody told me we lost. And then me not even thinking anything, Billy and Paul, pointed at me and told me to come talk to him right after the game. So this was probably 5 o'clock Vegas time. This was, it would have been 8 o'clock or so. Got the news. And then, I was on a plane back to Boca by 10:30 Vegas time. So, that's 3 hours ahead. I got to Boca just before 7 a.m. He came at noon, and then I was back on a plane from Boca at 6 p.m. and was back in Vegas by 10:30 that night.
Oh my God.
For the game that night?
And then the game was the following day.
Oh, the following day.
Dude, you're fucked up. Traveling.
And that's just the 5-hour flight to Vegas, the 3-hour zone. I honestly didn't get a lick of sleep because game ended. And then her mom and my mom are like, yeah, you're probably not going to make it. So I'm like pissed that nobody told me before. Didn't sleep on the plane. And then luckily, obviously I made it, but everything worked out.
Yeah. And I'm glad Florida hooked up the private plane for you too, man, to get back.
Better.
Because if you had to fly commercial for that, man, there's no way you would have made it, number one. And that it wouldn't have done anybody any good. But then you come back, your first game back, after making the travel, you score in that game, man. So that was super cool. That had to be cool for the entire family.
Yeah, it was cool. Obviously, you know, the run we were on, my success this year, and then on top of it, you know, having a baby boy, it's you couldn't have, you know, written a little bit better. Obviously, the main, you know, thing with that was the trophy, but you know, you got to appreciate the run that we had and the story kind of our team had and my family had.
Hey, let me ask you something. You know, you guys struggled. I don't know how many points you were back, you know, leading up to the end of the season. But then you're watching like fucking Chicago and Pittsburgh play like, oh, like things might happen here. And you're like, no, there's no way in hell. And then, you know, Pittsburgh loses. Are you like, oh my God? We all look at each other like, okay, we're in this goddamn thing.
It was honestly one of those things where like, I don't even think I didn't even watch those games. I tuned in a little bit, but it's like I just assumed that Pitt was going to win. So like literally, you guys have, you know, talked to other guys. Like we had to push and collect as many points as we possibly could for the last 2 months. And, you know, we went on a couple good streaks, but every team that was chasing us or was just ahead of us was winning as well. So it's like there was no, you know, catching any break until that last little bit. So, you know, those last couple games Pitt had, like, you just assumed that they would win, and then you'd wake up and you'd look at the score, you look at the highlights, and you'd see that they either lost in OT or they, you know, lost in regulation. You're just like, all right, we got to keep pushing here. And, you know, and luckily enough, we snuck in by 1.
Crazy.
Okay, let me ask you this, though. The team is wherever you guys are at, either at home or on the road. And Big Walt, Keith Tkachuk, he goes on that radio show.
Oh, yeah.
And he calls the whole team soft, okay? And then it's like the next game, Paul Maurice, you see him on the bench. He's like, you know, just giving it to the team on the bench. I mean, what was the reaction? What was the interaction like with Matthew at that time, too? Were you guys like, what the fuck? Your dad just went off on us on radio? Or were you guys like, he's right? I mean, let us know, man.
No, I mean,
what was the feeling there?
No, completely. Like, I mean, obviously we understood. Like, I mean, free to speak, and he knows the game. Like, I think we played his other son in Ottawa, and they pounded us when, obviously, I think they were a good chunk behind us in points wise for, you know, the run, but we lost a big game there, which we needed, and obviously they kicked the shit out of us, and he spoke up, and our more or less with Maddie, I think we were just joking about it. Obviously not going to take it, you know, serious. It's, you know, what can Walt do, I guess, on the ice? He's, you know, we got to show what we got. So we all heard it. We all laughed about it, giggled about it. We joked with Maddie about it. And I think, yeah, like you said, it was that next game in Toronto, and I think maybe Paul took it more to heart than us, and we came out that game pretty flat and soft, and Mo ripped us a new one. And I think from that point on, the rest is kind of, you know, history after that.
Okay, but be honest with me. Do you feel like him saying that like got everyone's attention, that it had an impact, or are you saying like, no, it didn't have any impact?
No, I mean, maybe it did. I think that, you know, that definitely played a part of it. You know, obviously I think guys maybe heard it, or you know, maybe, you know, took that to heart and, you know, made that extra hit or made that extra hard play. And I think, like you said, I think that's kind of when Walt did that and Mo screamed at us, that's when everything turned.
You know, you are in the locker room looking at that, and everybody's watching together, and maybe you laugh at that moment, but you're probably like, God damn, he just called us out. Like, we gotta fucking go here.
Yeah,
I can just picture
exactly.
if I'm
and especially those games too. It's like, you know, even when the Tkachuk brothers are playing, you know, like you think we'd, you know, and maybe we just didn't have that game. Obviously, Walt's seen us play enough and knows the game better than anyone, and you know, seen us from the start of the year to the end. And obviously, I think hopefully he appreciates the way we ended and, you know, helped out in that way. But you know, anytime you know, you get to play Brady you know, with Maddie on our team, you want to, you know, win that for Maddie and, you know, play that, you know, extremely that hard, especially when, you know, games are, you know, that close.
You speak of Paul Maurice, man. I like the way he conducts himself. I truly do. Like, after games, like, he's really honest. Like, you know, he does not cryptic. Does he? Yeah. How is he in the locker room? How is your relationship with him? And he seems like he's a solid guy, and you would want to work for him.
Yeah, he's awesome, and that's something that our team needed. Obviously, the coaching changes, but anytime, you know, he comes into the room, his presence, guys are obviously listening. He knows the game, you know, like I said, better than anyone, and experienced, anything possible in this game and has been around for a long time. So he comes in the room, he knows what he's talking about. Guys are quiet, listening. He's goofy and cracks jokes and keeps the room light when he can. But when it's time to be serious, and he's either yelling like you guys saw that one game, and guys are going to react the right way, and he's perfect for our locker room.
Yeah, no, he's cool, man. And he needed to get out of Winnipeg and that whole situation. Like, I didn't know he was going to coach or not. And then all of a sudden he's like, what? Florida's available? Yeah, I'll go there with that crew.
Well, that's what we were laughing. We were laughing before he got there. We were talking, and we were in his office, and he's just like, look at, like, I got windows out and I'm looking out in the sun. Like, this is crazy. Like, how do you guys do it? But, he experienced obviously a great year. We had a great season, and, definitely many more, great things coming ahead.
Let me ask you something, man. Growing up, like, how was your upbringing? What'd your mom and dad do? Was it easy? Was it hardcore? Like, explain it.
Yeah, no, it was, maybe hardcore for my mom. My dad was an iron worker, traveled all over. We lived, obviously from the reserve, my dad is, my mom's not, but, we lived in a little town just outside of Chatham, Kent, Tilbury. My dad worked in Michigan, mostly just across the border in Detroit. But he traveled a lot just for work throughout the week. So my mom had, 3 boys traveling for lacrosse and hockey our whole lives. And my dad would meet us when he could, or would meet us to most games, most practices if he can. But mom did a lot of that lugging. But it was pretty easy. We got to play. Kind of do whatever we wanted in sense of, play any sport we wanted, or things of that nature. And it was, nothing obviously to complain about.
All right. So how meaningful is it to be from the reserve, man? We talked to, Craig Berube, Chief, all the time, here in St. Louis. And we've had other guys on too, who have certainly like come from that type of upbringing. Like, what do you think that gives you? You think that gives you like a little bit of an edge from a competitive standpoint, just some of the shit that you've seen and maybe been through, like, because it's a little different than like the Silver Spoon kid, who's playing AAA hockey out of Toronto or whatever, Yeah,
absolutely. And like I said, I grew up on the reserve just to the fact that, I never went to school there. I went to a Catholic high school up in Brantford, but, a public school in the little town of Tilbury. So I never went to school in the reserve, and you never got to experience the education in that point, but played lacrosse on the reserve, have friends from here. I'm actually here right now, my parents just hanging out, but it's such a tight knit community. Even, driving in, we came in last night, and, people at their stores or the police station or driving into town, like, they still have signs up and billboards up, cheering me on. And
wow, hell yeah, man.
The whole reserve, it's not even just this one. It's, Six Nations, but, all of Canada, everyone was watching, and especially the season that I had, and, how far our team went. And Vegas obviously had
White Cloud.
Yeah, they obviously have White Cloud. So there's 2 kids there that are from 2 different reserves. So
first time ever that 2 kids from the reserve have faced each other in the Stanley Cup final, in the Stanley Cup final. And that's historic right there, Monty.
That's what I mean. So my reserve obviously wanted me to win, but in a sense they were cheering for both of us, and I'm sure his was as well. So I think just the community that we had, not just here, but in all of Canada, I think, you can see that, and you hear stories from family members, or you see stuff on TV, and you do interviews. It's nice, and it obviously pushes you to do your best and just try to win that thing. Obviously one of us won it, and congrats to him, and hopefully he does something good with his days with it, and my day is going to come eventually.
Yeah, it will, man, no doubt about it. So your dad was a steel worker. Did you? When you were a kid though, were you like, damn, Daddy, like, I don't want to do this shit? Like, what did he have to do exactly? I can picture him like pounding steel, like bam, sparks flying everywhere.
No, he was climbing the steel and like hooking it up.
Oh god!
Like, we'd be driving, like, he'd show us his job sites, and it'd be, I don't know how far up. And some of the injuries he's had, like, he actually, I don't even know, 2-3 years ago, he had to stop because him and one of his partners, like, something landed on him, and he dislocated his shoulder. He broke ribs. He dislocated both his hips. So he's actually can't ironwork anymore. He's almost close to retire. I mean, he's young. He's 53, but
so he was on the buildings. So he's climbing up
so
the scaffolding.
He's climbing up to he's climbing up these buildings, just tied up, and he's hanging off. And,
God.
He's putting all these beams together, and it's crazy. It's crazy what he, the pictures and videos he's showing us of, what he did obviously when he was younger, and he's racing his partners up the beams. He's quick, like it's crazy.
So listen, dude.
Jesus.
So when you're in a 4 overtime Stanley Cup final or Stanley Cup playoff game, and you're playing 57 minutes, are you telling the boy, hey, listen, this is nothing, man. My dad's out in the heat as a fucking iron worker.
Shit kicker.
Thinking about it from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. out in the heat in the middle of summer, climbing up these beams. Yeah, it's obviously we're lucky to do what we do for a living, and I definitely appreciate everything that he does for us as a family, and what he did as a job. It's and a lot of people from Six Nations, I know just from experience. A lot of the kids are at least my family grew up, and my grandpa was an iron worker, so my dad obviously followed his footsteps, and I know a lot of people that do that around here.
Yeah, send us some of those signs, man. I want to see that shit. I want to see these billboards that are up. Go, Monty.
Yeah, I'll try to find them. There's a police station actually close by that had one. I was kind of getting a chuckle about it, but that's what it's all about. Like somebody drove over to my parents' house during the playoffs and sent a bunch of every possible newspaper clipping from Six Nations to Brantford to Hagersville to Caledonia to Hamilton, and just knocked on my mom's door, and she handed her these clippings and said, "These are for Brandon." I want to give them. She cut them all just so it's my picture and whatever the story is. And my mom just showed me actually earlier, but things like that. She's getting gifts for my kid already. He's getting hockey sticks and little moccasins and little things like that. It's just everyone's kind of loves everyone and wants everyone to do good, and that's a big thing that I kind of kept along and keep pushing along with that.
Well, send us those pictures, man, because I don't you probably don't want to post that kind of stuff because it's hey, look at me, but we'll do it for you. I'd like to see some of those pictures. Yeah. I want to see some of the pictures of your daddy climbing up those goddamn towers, man.
Yeah, I'll try to
working for the people.
When he gets home here, I'll tell him, and he'll be fucking looking on his phone.
Hell yeah, tell him to send us some.
He'll be looking through the scrapbooks and be like, "Yeah, I gotta show the boys."
I love it.
Hey, but well, how does that work? If your dad's still working, you're playing in the league and everything, do you help him out? Are you hey, listen, man, you don't need to be doing this in the heat anymore?
Come on,
they don't put that pressure on you. How does that work?
Well, yeah. So since his last injury, I don't even know, 2-3 years ago, he's obviously taking it easy. He's not climbing anymore. So I think he got the injury when he was 51. Yeah, 51 or so. So, I mean, he's got obviously he can retire at 55. So he's got a little bit longer, but I mean, he doesn't do as much of that anymore. Knows obviously a bunch of people. So he, works, plugs around, here and does what he can. But I mean, anytime my parents want to come up to Florida, they come a lot, and it's they've done so much for us, and like I said, anytime now we have a kid and my brother's got 2 girls, it's it's all about them, and like I said, anytime they want to come watch games and come to Florida and hang out for a couple weeks or a month or 2 or 3, it's
forever.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously open door for them, and it's funny because every time their friends say, are you guys flying to Florida? They say, yeah. They're like, well, how long are you going to be gone for this time? So it's all fun. It's, they got to enjoy, a part of this as well.
Oh yeah, no question. Hey man, when Brooks Koepka, he's got the pylon, the cone. I think he was doing it by Eric Ekblad. Remember that up in the suite?
Yeah,
yeah, he was banged up.
He picked up the cone.
He looked jacked
He's
up.
calling Ekblad a pylon or something. I don't know. Were you guys laughing? Were you giving it to Ekblad? Were you was Ekblad?
Were you
pissed?
are you snorting Molly?
No, we laughed about it. Obviously, in the same sense. So it's well, give us, we'll put you in our pair of our skates and let you fucking get on the ice and do it, So it's all jokes aside, obviously he's a fan. He's a fan of the game. He wants us to win. I don't know the exact player. I just heard about the videos that was going on afterwards, but obviously wants us to do well, and we all take it to, laugh about it, laugh at Aaron. Aaron laughs about it. He's obviously, doesn't care about it at all. And Aaron's obviously a hell of a player, so nobody didn't phase any of us, didn't phase him at all. And, just get a quick laugh about it.
Yeah, I looked it up today. Actually, Aaron Ekblad has like 111 career goals, which is a lot for a defenseman. He's still got a long way to go in his career, man.
Yeah, sorry, but Brooks.
He's what is he, 27?
Brooks kept it look like a raccoon. You know when you walk out your house and you shine your light on the trash can, the raccoon's looking at you?
Yeah.
Like his eyes
Well,
were
it's funny,
beat
too,
up.
because the year before, he came into the locker room a few times and, just chit-chatted with a few of the guys. And, guys are big fans of him. And we were just joking after, that incident with Aaron. And he said, this guy's not coming around us anymore. But,
oh, yeah. No,
it's all fun. I think he reached out to Aaron. Aaron, reached out back. And, obviously, he's a fan of us. And all of us are a huge fan of, obviously, what he does as well. So to get that, the exposure it did, it was hilarious. But, both talented athletes. So, nobody cared.
It was a little different than what Kodak
Black did his thing, though, boy. What's up? Did you party with him?
Yeah, he was in there. Yeah, we had a bunch of guys in there. He wrote, we had to get a new, what are those projector screens or whatever that they write? The coaches write on it.
Oh, yeah.
This guy comes in and fucking writes on a fucking permanent Sharpie, on the thing. So we had to get a new fucking board.
Oh my God. Kodak did?
Kodak's like, what's up?
That's
Kodak
funny.
did, yeah.
I'm doing
Oh
my
my God.
shit.
Hey, listen, man. Brooks he looked like an idiot though doing that to another professional athlete who was like a first overall pick.
He looked goofy as shit, man.
Yeah, don't be doing that. Don't be doing that.
He looked ate up. He looked ate up.
Hey, so what happened to you this year though, man? Like compared to the previous years, like you just completely exploded. Like was it opportunity? Was it just like things went your way? Like what do you credit towards your season you had?
No, I think it was, obviously a bit of everything. It was the opportunity, especially. I had good conversations with Mo last summer and knew that, there's a chance that my role was going to increase and, have that opportunity of being a big part of, this team. And we had a, good team going into the year. And, I just wanted to have a solid summer. And my mindset stayed the same. I worked, obviously. I take pride in training as as best as I can and eating well and just wanted to kind of take that opportunity and show everyone, not just myself, that I could be a big part of a team and be a big part in this league and be a difference maker every time I got on the ice. And that's what I tried to do from game one to the end of the year.
Yeah, no, you were awesome, man, in the regular season and the playoffs. But how did you end up, did you not get drafted to play in the OHL? I mean, you end up in the USHL where, kids obviously from St. Louis, that's where they go, here in the States. Yeah. That's the number one junior league in the States en route to going to play college. And then you play a year of college at UMass. So, how did that path take its course?
Yeah, so no, I wasn't drafted. I was small. I didn't get drafted to the OHL. I went to a Guelph Storm camp when I was, I don't even know what age that was, 15, 16, whatever your draft year is.
That's where Cam played with the Guelph Storm.
Yeah, so who was the coach there? Scott Walker was the coach there. I ended up playing Junior B back home and then got a call from PK O'Hanley, which is the USHL team in Waterloo there, and ended up going there and playing a year. And that's kind of when it kind of took off. And, the exposure of, when you're playing Junior B, there's no scouts really, very often, so often that there might be a Division I scout or, it's all parents and friends. So it's the exposure really got, hot when I went to the USHL and under PK and obviously played well that year and was a big part of a team there and was drafted that following summer to Anaheim and then kind of just went to college after that quick. Wasn't expecting to leave as quick as I did. Just played 20 games there, did well. And Anaheim kind of just said, get the hell out of here. And, at the end is, that's when the rest kind of happened there.
So they were ready for you. What's your take though on college hockey? Overall, the talent level, the competition, what do you think of it?
It was unbelievable. It was one of those things too, they compare kind of the USHL to the OHL. It's probably not as strong, I guess, or not as deep maybe, that I think the top end teams in the USHL can compete with, the OHL teams. Maybe that's how it works. But, went to college and wasn't obviously expecting to leave as quick as I did, and did well. And Anaheim kind of just, said your time's obviously done here. And I mean, was I going to stay for another year and then leave? It just didn't make sense to, stick around. But my experience there, like, I played 20 games, didn't play many teams. Like I got there late too. I got there second semester. So I got there when it snowed, and then I left and it was still snowing. So it's like my experience wasn't obviously as much as anybody else's, but glad I did it. Experienced obviously somewhat of a college life for 2-3 months. And that was the time when it took off. And, obviously I want to play hockey, and that's, my dream, but appreciate, going to school.
Yeah. Cale Makar followed your footsteps a few years later, man, showing up at the same school. So.
That's right. He was right after me, I think, a year or two after me.
Wow. They had both of you on the same team. Did they win or did they make it? They lost in the final, right?
Well, that's the thing. Everyone kind of said my school, like the program was shit, honestly. Like it wasn't that good before. Like when I was like, I think when I went, I think the team was like 1 or 2 and like 11. But like I toured the school. I'm like, how are you guys like not getting these players? Like, like the school's insane. The arena, like
really,
everything they got is, unbelievable. And sure enough, like 2 years after I left, they got new coaches and obviously maybe a new AD, and, put the program kind of into new levels, and they won and lost in the finals. And I don't know how well they're doing now, but I know that they're, having success in that end.
Yeah. It's a nicer building than the Coyotes play in, let's be honest with you. Hey, listen, but then you play in the American League in San Diego. And I know you're not making NHL money. So like,
yeah,
but like you're in Florida right now and you're in San Diego playing professional hockey in San Diego. Yeah. Like, where are you guys set up when you're living there? And how great was the lifestyle of playing hockey in San Diego, which is, one of the most beautiful cities you're going to find in the country?
Gary Bettman should actually try to look into finding a way to get a team there.
Yeah, I agree.
They obviously needed a bigger arena, but like this is one of the nicest cities I've been in the U.S. And obviously the season ended in college, and then I ended up playing. The team was in Norfolk, which is crazy that they used to do those red eyes for call-ups and from Norfolk, Virginia to Anaheim. It's
damn.
But then the next year was the first year San Diego came in, so that's where I started. And yeah, like you said, every team was so close. I think we flew, and we played less too. I think that Western team, our league or division, played less games. Never played Friday, Saturday, Sundays. They just played, two. They never played back to back, and travel was unbelievable. And obviously, you can't go wrong with that city. Like we lived in Del Mar, which is just north, right on the wall. Like we're a street. We lived in a street from the beach, like, and we're playing, in San Diego. It's incredible.
Okay, let me ask you something though. Like if you're a single dude and you're playing in the minors in San Diego, when you go up to beautiful women, are you like, hey, was it hard to wheel them? Were they like looking at you like, well, okay, what does that mean?
Like I was, I would have been 20, 21. And like you're going to these restaurants and like bars and
they're like, do you play for the Padres?
Like I'm like, who's my teammates here? Like Shane O'Brien was with me, so like we were going we were going to bars and restaurants, and like obviously he's 10 something years older than me, and he's picking up girls, and they're all 30 plus, and then you got these 20, 21-year-olds, hanging on. They're like, who are these kids? But obviously they experience like those friendships with Shane and some of those guys on our team. Like it's got to be the best place still, and I'm sure guys that end up playing in San Diego like would love to stay there and play. Like it's crazy that there's a hockey team there. Like that's how
Oh my God, we know a couple guys who played there. Chris Weidman went through there. I know Luke Shen, I think, was there for a little while. Braden was like always talking about his brother being there, I think, in San Diego, and he loved playing for Dallas.
I think he made a little pit stop there. Yeah,
and he loved playing for Dallas Eakins too. Man, people liked him in the American League.
That's where I played with. Yeah, like Dallas. That's where I had my experience with him, was in San Diego, and obviously nothing but good words for him.
Yeah, okay. I like hearing that. Hey, in Anaheim, though, listen, man. I mean, they had Shea Theodore, who's now in Vegas, too. Like, you guys are on the same team. I think you guys played together in San Diego, like, in the minors. Like, you guys had a bunch of guys. I mean, I looked at something today, like, what their defense could look like if they kept everybody in Anaheim. It would be absolutely sick. So how do you break down your experience playing with, Getzlaff and Corey Perry and all those boys?
Yeah, they're incredible. Those are two, we had a bunch of guys. We had those two. I could go down the list, like even from D, like Juice, like we had Bieksa, Kessler, Bolshman, Patty Eves, who else do we have? Chamara, Kelly, like we had a bunch of older guys and, 21, 21 years old at the time that I was. It's just like, get to experience and kind of learn from these guys. Like you couldn't find a group better than that. And obviously I think you guys would know Getsy and, Corey and unbelievable leaders. Obviously anytime they step foot in the locker room, it's kind of same thing with, coaches. It's you take everything you can from these guys. And, I definitely have taken things in my game and, how I approach the game from these guys and appreciate, starting off with those guys for sure.
Okay, so like explain, like, are you a health nut? Now Andy thinks he is. He doesn't eat meat. Like we went out to dinner the other day, and my buddy had all these like, tomahawk steaks out, and it kind of scared Andy a bit. He doesn't eat meat that much. But like, explain what you're like. What do you eat? And like
your workout regimen,
all that stuff.
Maybe that's after the fact that I might be doing the same thing when I'm finished playing too.
That's right.
I can't.
Yeah, but he didn't play. You gotta understand that. He's just doing it because other people do. It's all good. So what's your regimen?
Hey, Ryan O'Reilly does it.
We know Andy.
Alexander Steen, Paul Stack. Yeah, there's a lot of guys. High performance athletes.
What's your regimen?
I take it pretty serious. Like it's one of those things now that I'm going into my 8th, 9th year professionally, and it's I think at this point what it takes in your body to what your strengths are, what you need to work on. And, those first couple of years when I was learning and living on my own and experiencing things, like that of nature, you change things up, you learn in those years, but, now it's kind of like the routine and, season ends. And during the year I do the same things as well and eat properly. And, but summertime I kind of, I tried 1 year of gluten-free, or one summer gluten-free, 1 year, no egg or, little things like that, just to kind of see how my body reacts to it. Mm-hmm. But now I kind of, in a sense, like I'm 29 years old and I kind of know what my body needs. And
so let me ask you something. So like after a game, like do you have your protein, you do your thing, you replenish your body, but will you have a couple of beers after a game, or are you like, no, I'm waiting for a day off?
No. I mean, I'll have a nice cold one on the bus or on the plane or it's
just asking. That's all.
Little things like that. Maybe when I was younger, like that's the thing. Like younger, I'm like, whoa, no. I got to get to bed. Like now it's like, can I have a cold one or two? It's not going to do anything. Treat yourself. And it's one of those things too. You just learn, like you have a shit game or you have a good game. It's like you wash it. It's done with. You relax and you focus on the next day. It's and I mean every player that plays a long time or experiences that.
Hey, listen, you're in Buffalo now. Buffalo's interesting. And I actually come from, like, all my family is from Buffalo, but like I get it. And Ryan O'Reilly comes here, like he couldn't wait to get the fuck out of Buffalo. Jack Eichel wanted out of Buffalo. And now they're kind of good. They got a bunch of young studs, and it looks like, they're going to, have a chance to be good for a long time. But when you get traded out of there and you go to Florida, you must have been like, get me on that first plane to Florida right now. But what was the experience like for you in Buffalo? Did you break it down?
I mean, I called my wife after I heard the news and told her we were going to Florida and to pack, and she said she was already packed. So let's put it that way. But no, obviously I've kind of experienced it all where, younger, coming up, I was in Anaheim, I was living in Newport Beach, get traded to Buffalo, which we were excited about. Like, maybe not her being from California and never leaving. She's like, what the fuck am I doing? Mm-hmm. But came and, obviously close to, my family and friends. So in that sense of playing close to home was cool. At first, thought we, obviously had some promising, a decent roster that can make it, make something happen. And then, fucking shit happened with COVID.
Oh, God.
Fucking lost every game, and guys wanted out, and it's not like my experience there wasn't bad. Like the staff was unbelievable. Like they treat the players, they want the players to win. GMs, coaches were fired at, I was there for 2.5, 3 years, and we had 2 GMs, 3 coaches. Like,
God,
like you can't do that. And, but obviously it was very little my experience there. You could, obviously talk to, O'Reilly or Ike's a little bit, they did 6, 7, whatever years there. But,
you act like they're doing time. Oh yeah, O'Reilly did 6 or 7 years.
Penitentiary upstate.
I know.
COVID didn't help either. Like fucking the
God.
border was closed down. Like we didn't go home, and we were just stuck kind of like it's all winter. Like what do you do? And it's like we're at the beach now and like out in the pool. Like what are they doing in the winter? Like and we're watching TV on the couch, playing with our dogs. Like.
Yeah, but most people don't have your experience, man. You played in San Diego, you played in Anaheim, and you played in Florida.
Chilling.
Like what? Like no one's
These
has that
players
experience.
coming in from Buffalo, they haven't experienced other teams, but like you see obviously when you get older you see, but like from like you said, San Diego to Anaheim to Buffalo to Florida, it's like all you see, and then you're on top of it on a not so good team. It's like I love the city, loved obviously the experience there, loved the management.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
We're done with this.
We're done. Settle down.
It wasn't. It wasn't for me there, and
it wasn't for
you. But what about like the fan base? Like if
they
you
love it.
Well, hold on a second though. Like even when it was dark. And everybody's like pissed at everything, and shit's going down with fucking all that shit. But if you went out with your wife and somebody recognized you, were the fans kind of cool?
Oh, they're great. Like even like that was a big thing. I was like, obviously they want winning teams, and it's a sports town. So you see how well the Bills are doing.
Oh yeah.
They're all for it. And like we go across the border, like you're getting stopped every time saying, "Oh, we wish you were in Buffalo," or like I don't know why we traded you, and like.
Yeah, man.
When we were doing shit in Buffalo, like, oh, like I don't know why they didn't play you more. Like I watch every, shit like that. It's like all they want is, as a city is, winning.
They want you to win, man.
And like the team does well for 5, 6, 7 games. You can see the fans like getting, more rowdy and getting excited. But then they're like let down because, when I was there, we lost 16 or 18 games in a row. It's
God.
You go there's
like?
so many.
Well, didn't you call out your team? Like didn't you just like lose it one day where you just like finally like emotions came to a boil and you just let it all out and you let people know what you felt?
And I was, and like I said, I was only there for 2 years. It's like I couldn't imagine being there for as long as like Jack was, or and have those highs and lows. But like it's just like it was like they're just. Expected to to lose, and we're okay with losing, and it's just you just can't have that. So like obviously they got rid of fucking everyone, and they're doing well now. It's like I know a couple of the younger guys that were coming up, like Dylan Cousins and Ras Darlene and a few other guys, but I'm happy that they're on the right page, and these young guys going, like you said, they're going to be good for a while.
Yep.
I experienced with young guys, they work extremely hard. They love being at the rink, so that's obviously a bonus for these kids. And I mean, that's the only place you really want to be, other than your house is fucking,
Oh, I see what you're saying with that. Yeah. I get
you. So it's like, they'll be good. They'll be good. I'm happy for, how well they played, last year. And obviously they're in our division. So
are you saying sometimes like when you're in Buffalo, you're like, fuck this, let me get to the rink. But when you're in Florida and you're in your golf cart, and you're looking at that you're looking at a beautiful ocean. You're like, gosh dang, I could go fishing right now. I can go boogie boarding. I could do this.
Well,
like, you got a pretty goddamn good down there.
I'm like, fuck, let me get to the rink and get my work on it and get it done. But I'm going straight to the pool or going straight to the beach after this. I'm not going to my couch and watching fucking 10 episodes on Netflix.
Or playing video games.
Yeah. And
Or
listen,
yeah, I hear you, homie. I hear you, homie.
Exactly. But no,
you.
like I said, my experience, like I didn't have one bad thing to say about, and I know guys do, but I'm happy that the organization's, you know, taking a turning point and, you know, win some games. And I'm happy that I'm in Florida. So
yeah, I know.
That page has turned a while ago.
Oh yeah,
we got you, homie.
We kid around, man. We don't want to shit on Buffalo.
No.
And we're glad that but if there was a
Fans
time, man,
awesome.
you weren't the only. Listen, there's a lot of guys who just said, "Hey, you know, this is not for me. I got to get out of here." Yep. Hey, who's got the best Who's got the best setup on your team?
There you go, Andy.
With the Panthers. Yep. When all the boys get together, we're going to your crib. We're gonna get on the jet skis, whatever. Like, who's got the best setup?
Yeah. Aaron's probably. I mean, Aaron's been there the longest. Hopefully Barkov hears this. He's been there the longest, but he never invites the boys over to his house.
Oh, Barky.
Wait. Is he cheap?
I'm going to call Barky out right now and see if he can invite the whole team over next year.
Is he cheap?
Will he do it?
What is it?
Oh, he's up in, I mean, he's obviously like quiet, unbelievable guy, but he's the only one up in Boca. So I don't know if anybody wants to even drive up to Boca.
Fancy.
What do you mean? How far is that away from where you are? Like, and everybody else?
We're all in Fort Lauderdale, Las Olas. Within probably, you know, some families are in Parkland by the arena, but you know, we're all within probably 10 minutes away, and he's up 30-40 minutes away. So
who you hanging out with the most?
We got Las Olas, so we got all the bars and restaurants there. So like we go to someone's house, we could, you know, just hop in a golf cart and quickly go there. So
I mean, come on.
Who's your crew? Like, who you hanging out? Like, who are the boys that you're going out with the most?
Who are you partying with?
I mean, I'm not doing much partying now. I'm the family man now, so the boys probably think I'm fucking pretty boring. You know, wife was pregnant all year, and now we have a baby. It's just, I'm like, no, I can't go to the bar. Like, come hang out and come see my baby now.
You're like, okay, cool.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Like,
Cam doesn't get it.
No, I do get it.
Yeah,
because they'll go to your house.
For my fucking dogs in the pool.
Yeah, they'll go to your house and be like, "Oh, hi, baby, I love you," blah blah blah, and let's go downstairs and hang out.
Yeah. No, but we got a good group. Like, you know, Sammy Reinhart, Sammy Bennett, Aaron. We got guys. You know, Maddie. You know, guys like to, you know, have fun, enjoy, obviously where we live, and as much as we can. So like we go for some beers or dinners all the time, and you know, you gotta enjoy it.
Are you a big talker on the ice? Like, do you chirp a lot? I hear these stories about Matty chirping like all the time. I mean, apparently he's got some big one-liners. Must have learned that from his dad. So like, who's chirping?
Yeah, I'm probably pretty annoying to, you know, other players for sure. I like to talk a lot. Matty does. Nick Cousins does. Ryan Lomberg does. You know, there's probably 4 guys there that talk probably the most. I think, I mean, I probably should keep my mouth shut more. I think I had 5. We joke about it. I think I had 5 10s this year during the season, and
rack them pims up, boy.
I think 3 of them were because I was fucking annoying and fucking either chirping the ref or chirping the other team. I don't know.
Hey, what game was it in the final where you came into the scrum at the buzzer?
Oh yeah, you did.
And then like Matthew Tkachuk, it had like Petrangelo. It looked like he was like nailed to a cross or something. Like he had like
Jesus.
He had the stick behind his back, and he couldn't get out of it, dude.
Joke. No, I think that was what happened. I mean, I can't pinpoint the time. I think what you're talking about. I think that was in at home against Vegas.
Yeah.
What was his name? McNabb.
Yeah, McNabb.
He hit Chucky the shift before the same way, and it kind of like everyone shrugged it off and didn't see it, and I just kind of like, if there's a chance to fucking hit this guy, I'm gonna. And I think we joked about it all playoffs and pretty well all season. It was, if we pull our goalie and we don't score, it's a melee.
Oh, I like that.
That's kind of what our mindset was, is just like someone's either gonna get hit or someone's gonna get hurt, or like we're having all 6 of our guys in there, and, you know, we're just going to fight until, you know, we're just going to tell them next time, hey, this isn't done. And, you know, like we did that season playoffs. I think you can look back at it, like, you know, Chucky had, I don't know how many 10s. Benny had 10s. I had 10s. Carter Verhaeghe laughed and jokes all the time and says, this is the most amount of headlocks I've either been in or have given my whole career. I'm like, that's what I love to hear.
Good,
we all joke about it. Like, we all protect each other, help each other. And I think that was a big reason of, the reason how far we went, and, our team stuck together the whole time.
All right, let me ask you something right quick. So you're a Canadian boy. You go down to Florida.
Yeah.
Are you now? Do you have a boat? Do you go cruise around the ocean with your boat? Do you know how to navigate the ocean? And when you're cruising around near ponds in Florida, do you have a doggy? And are you kind of worried about them gators cruising around? I'm just asking because they're there and they're watching you. Just so you know.
I don't have a boat. My neighbors do.
Just asking.
So like, I mean, they take us on their boats all the time. Okay. Aaron had a boat. But I don't even think the gators, they're not, I've heard mixed things. Like they're around us, but they're not around us. They're usually like inland by like the Everglades, Parkland area.
They're
like,
by you.
They don't come their way to the ocean, I guess. But hopefully I never will see one in the ocean and never experience.
Just keep your eyes out. That's all. I'm just worried about you a little bit. I'm just worried about
I worry
you.
I worry about the sharks more than the gators.
Yeah, the gators will get you more than the sharks, I think.
I don't know. I hope I don't encounter either of them.
No, that's exactly right.
And you got anacondas, just so you know. It's a hillbilly rainforest on there. It's crazy.
Before we left, actually, we were packing. We had a big ass fucking black snake in our fucking front lawn.
They're harmless.
Grab it by the tail.
No. Those are harmless, dude, just so you know.
I don't know what it is. It was fucking big and it was thick. And
yeah, kill it anyway.
Took a video of it and showed me. I'm like, I'm out here.
Just kill it. Okay. Push comes to shove, kill the goddamn thing. But black snakes are actually pretty good for you.
You act like you're a snake guy.
I'm just letting you know.
You know everything about the snakes.
I'm just letting you know.
You got to grab it by the tail.
No, you kill it. Chop its head off.
Hey, before we let you go. This Radko Gudis, and we've actually had him on the podcast, man. He was awesome when he came on with. Is this guy an animal? Like, what is going on with that guy? And like when he got taken out by Barbershop, how did that impact the team the rest of the way?
Well, it was. I mean, obviously, he plays extremely hard. I wouldn't like even earlier on, like you play him and you're like, fuck, I hate this guy. Like this guy's mean. He's killing everyone. And then you experience being on his team and the type of human he is off the ice. It's like, obviously you guys have talked to him, and he's one of the greatest human beings I've met. And he puts the skates on and puts his helmet on, and this guy's an absolute warrior. And he's hunting to kill anyone and everyone, and happens every time. Like some guys go for big hits and they either miss or they trip, or this guy's going like that hit. Who did he hit? It was the biggest hit. It's the biggest hit I've ever seen in my life. It was against Toronto.
Oh,
you guys probably saw a clip of it.
Oh, we're gonna look it up right now because we need to know.
Look it up. It was in the Toronto series. This guy picked the puck up and he literally put him through the boards.
Was it Marner?
You'll see it and you'll just no.
Was it Mitchie Marnie?
Oh, was it I think it was a Camp. David Camp.
Yeah, I know.
Look at this hit that he makes, and he's done it. He does it every game, but this one is just points. It comes to my head every time I think of Goods. I'm like, how is this David Camp's doing?
Oh my God!
Hey, he's pretty tough too, unless he gets Superman punched.
If I saw a snake in that's who I'd call. I'd call Gudis. I'd be like, Radko, get over here.
He would call his wife, and he'd be like, Lori, help me.
His wife's just the biggest trooper. Like she's bringing her 4 kids to every game. Like. Running around like, and she's taking them by herself. Like,
oh my God,
she could be your bodyguard, Andy.
I know,
unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable family, and obviously, unfortunately, we couldn't keep them, but he obviously got a nice payday in Anaheim, and we'll enjoy obviously Newport Beach.
Hey, how banged up was the team though? Like in the Stanley Cup final, between periods, after games, like because all the stories came out right. I mean, Paul Maurice didn't waste any time. He's like, we lost. And, oh, by the way, Montour has a torn labrum. Ekblad has a broken leg.
Sternum.
Matthew has a broken sternum. Like, was it really that bad? I mean, it sounds terrible.
Yeah, and it's tough because you hate to have excuses, and the time off sucked. Obviously, you think it would help and, rest the guys. But, like you said, you pointed out a couple guys, but, we had – I can't even count, probably close to, 10 guys that were had issues with something. And it's crazy, how fun and how the experience was the whole time. But the amount of like what it does to your body, it's like, you just want to keep playing, but it hurts so bad. And it's, we had so many guys that battled that whole season. And, we started, we could count, our playoffs started at Christmas break. It's the amount of injuries that we had and guys, surgeries and guys have to recover this summer. And it's just a short summer. It's going to be interesting to see how many guys are banged up at the start of the year, going into camp. But, luckily enough, I think most of the guys will be healthy. A handful of us, maybe like me and Aaron might be the only ones. But guys were feeling pretty bad going into that last series.
Yeah, that's the price you pay. Hey, last thing. And this is normally a Cam question, but he hasn't asked it yet.
What?
So, like, who's the guy when you're going back to retrieve a puck?
Oh, you're asking this question? This is my goddamn
Well, you
question.
didn't ask it. You ask it every episode.
Who scares you, homeboy? Who scares you? No, seriously. No, it
What
doesn't have to be a guy
me?
not beat you up.
Not
but just,
Lucic or something.
No. Somebody that catches you when your fucking head's up your ass. That guy.
Yeah, I don't think. I've learned watching. Knock on wood, I haven't been knocked on my ass like that, but I've seen other players get hit. And my head's turning each way. I'm like, some of these guys don't even care where the puck is. And luckily enough, I'm friends and I train with Tommy Wilson. But that's one guy that
our boy.
That's our boy, by the way. Yeah. He came on with us too, man.
Oh, really?
During COVID.
You did.
Such a great dude, and I don't think
Awesome.
he'd ever. Maybe playoff times he would come and kill me, but
he'd hurt you.
That's probably one guy that guys definitely. I think I'm going to get that puck before somebody hits me anyway, so it's that's my mindset, and he's not going to hit me, and my head's turning, like I said, each which way, but I'd say Tommy Wilson's one guy. Sammy Bennett, I joke and say like he's like 190, 95 pounds, but the amount of big hits that he makes, I'd be scared of that guy. I actually don't even say that because he's going to hear this and he's going to keep this fucking video now. I wouldn't be scared of him, but I'd be definitely turning my head seeing where this fucker is.
I'm going to send it to him. Hey, can you believe that guy couldn't do a pull-up, by the way, at the combine?
His shoulder was fucked up.
Is that what it was?
Well, it had to have been.
It's like he's one of the best hitters. I love watching that guy play. I remember when he was on the block in Calgary.
Yeah.
I was like, whoever gets this guy,
you did.
like
I remember
he can. I was like, watch, this guy can play, and he's in the mix.
I told him my son Kai, I'm like, when he's growing up, he's gonna watch a couple clips. He's gonna have a little bit of Sam Bennett in his game. That's what I want.
As long as he can skate like you, Monty, he's all good, man. With your skating ability,
I'll teach him the skating, but he's got to get the hard from Sam Bennett.
And your wrist shot, you walk the line, dude. We watch you, man. I watch our dude. Cam, awesome.
Cam claims your wrist shot's like 95 miles per hour.
No. Somebody said your wrist shot's 90 miles an hour. And I'm like, Andy's is probably 13 miles an hour. And if you do the difference, like that's hardcore, homie.
Is it true? Your wrist shot's 90 miles per hour?
I've never measured it, but
that's what they
I
say.
I take pride in fucking trying to hammer the puck anytime, whether it's a wrist shot or a slap shot. And hopefully the shoulder makes it a little stronger when I'm healed up. That's
it will.
The plan,
hey, don't come back too soon, man. Don't come back too soon.
Hey, you're the man, homeboy.
That's right.
We're rooting for you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
We're rooting for you, homie.
Yeah.
We'll talk
all
to you.
the best. Hey, enjoy that baby and enjoy the summer, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy the time up north.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
And fly private next time.
Brandon.
Okay, fly private.
I'll try both. And I'll get back on. I'll share my experiences.
There you go,
homie.
There you go, man.
Right on, buddy.
All right, thanks, guys.
The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC. Options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the summer.
Yeah.
All right, that was Monty. Cam.
What a good dude. Good dude. Damn good player, man. Damn good player.
Grew up on the reserve.
Yeah. He said it was okay. He went to like a private school and stuff.
I think he left for high school and stuff.
I don't think he went to the hardcore shit.
I think he was a hardcore lacrosse player, too.
Doesn't make any money.
You know, lacrosse is like big time up there.
Doesn't make any money.
I think some of those guys do make money.
Good money?
Not the money he's making in the NHL.
I know.
Like, what do you do if you're... I mean, that's got to suck, dude. Although, I will say this. You can be an incredible lacrosse player, and lacrosse is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And they have professional lacrosse leagues. You know, they sell out these buildings.
How much money do they make?
Hold on. What I'm going to say is I think this sport is only going to continue to grow big time, drastically, specifically here in the U.S., where obviously they don't have the same history that maybe they've had in Canada. But if it continues to grow, Cam, who's to say what the situation or availability or perception or options are going to be moving forward 20 years from now? What kind of options there could be for great lacrosse players?
I don't give a fuck.
What's your takeaway, though, from Brandon Montour? What do you think of this guy?
I think he's a really down-to-earth dude. He's got a good thing going in Florida. He's a hell of a defenseman. He'll hit you. He's great at walking the line. They said he had a 90-mile-an-hour wrist shot.
Okay, well, he didn't even know that. So,
why would he know that? He's not the one who did it
Okay,
himself.
but when you brought that to my attention,
somebody said it.
I had not heard that. And I have.
Do you not believe him?
I searched it. I can't find any evidence of that.
Okay, then.
And then Brandon Montour had no idea what you were talking about.
Okay, then he didn't.
His dad's a shit kicker.
What's he do?
Iron.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
An iron worker on buildings.
Yes. Like hanging from the side of buildings?
Yeah. No, he's just like, if you go on YouTube and you watch 1920s skyscraper, watch those guys up there. There's no safety net.
1920s. Dude, I wonder, like, how they made those buildings back then.
You could go on YouTube, they'll show you. They have little bolts, they have the steel, and they have cranes still.
How many of those guys were dying?
A lot. They had no safety net. They're just walking, eating their lunch on that mug.
So what was the benefit of doing that?
They get paid money so they can feed their family.
Is that the only job they could
Probably. What do you mean what do you think the benefit is? He's a fucking iron worker.
Did the benefit
He's a grinding to go home
outweigh the risk?
Yes. When you're family and you have 4 kids.
I'm talking in the 1920s.
Yes, when you have 4 kids that are starving. Yeah. And they pay you a lot of money. Like the Chrysler pays you a lot of money to build a Chrysler building.
They had no safety
because
net.
They had a Chrysler building compete against the Empire State Building. 2 billionaires going at it, and they're trying to get that taller, and then they put like a big pointy thing on the top of it. Like it's going to be taller than the Empire State Building. It's all competition. So these rich guys will pay these fucking iron workers to work nonstop, and they probably work for 48 hours straight walking on that thing, but they're getting paid good money. So they can go home and guess what, Andy? Feed their family.
Okay, so now you're telling me there's a safety net in case these guys fall?
Oh, now, yeah. There's so many different rules and regulations. Back in the 20s, they had nothing.
How do we know these buildings aren't just going to collapse one day?
They will eventually. Listen.
Like, what do they do to monitor bridges and buildings, skyscrapers?
Look, in our lifetime, they're going to last. But if we got rocked by an asteroid and it reset the Earth, there's only a couple structures that will still survive. What do you think they are?
Ooh,
what do you think they are? There's one.
Hold on.
Come on.
What do you mean?
There's one structure that's going to probably survive any kind of apocalypse. What do you think it is?
Hold on.
Come on.
Is it an easy one?
It's a pyramid.
Oh, I was thinking in the U.S.
No.
I'm thinking in the U.S. Okay.
Nothing in the U.S.
Why the pyramid?
Because there's stone blocks that are, 50,000 pounds a piece.
Like how they build that?
That's a good question, Andy.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a good question,
like how,
and no one knows.
I drove over a bridge.
Like they know, but they don't.
I drove over a bridge in my to get into Cape Cod, and it said something like it was built like in 1930, and I'm like, how did they build this in 1930?
Oh, in 1930, you had all kinds of different things. You had technology in 1930.
They did?
What are you talking about?
They had like the engineering that could get that done?
Mm-hmm. They built the Hoover Dam in the 30s, didn't they? The Hoover Dam. Matt, look at the documentary on the Hoover Dam. They didn't know how to settle the concrete, so they had to take fucking pipes and take cold water and take the cold water through the Colorado River and put them into these concrete bins so the concrete would settle better because it was too hot. Like that fucking Hoover Dam. Watch the documentary on that bad boy. A lot of people died.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Vince Dunn.
Right.
New contract, 7.35. I can just vividly recall sitting next to this guy in the dressing room. I wasn't a teammate or a player, but I would sit next to him all the time and
you
chat
guys
with him.
played together.
We talk about shoes a lot. He's always into shoes, but all he wanted to be in his, he just would always say, I'm a top 4 defenseman.
Yeah, he would. He's confident.
I'm a top 4 D-man, man.
I remember him saying that.
I'm a top 4 D-man. I should be a top 4 D-man. And I know he felt like that opportunity was not going to be here in St. Louis, and they grabbed him, man. I'll give Seattle, a lot of credit for grabbing him in that expansion draft.
I agree.
When they could have taken Tarasenko, which a lot of people were like, oh, well, maybe, it's like, they were like, no, we'll take this guy who is a top 4 defenseman.
Ronnie Francis, baby.
Now, in fairness, when Vince Dunn came into the league, you had Parayko here already. You had Jay Bouwmeester. You had Alex Pietrangelo. You had Edmondson, Gunnarsson. You had a lot of
some big guys,
big dudes, like experienced
Who are we missing?
veterans. Robert Bortuzzo.
Oh, Bortuzzo, yeah. We're huge. Funny how that works. All these Stanley Cup winning teams have big defensemen.
Yeah, now they're all big.
Funny how that works.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need a big defense. You don't need the Blues have too many big defensemen. What? They do? Who's big? Who plays big?
Hey, for people who think that team was a fluke too, I've said that before.
Who said that?
I'm just saying, because they were last to first, went on this hot run,
beat
Boston. But look how good all these players were that are on the team
Loaded.
that have gone on to other teams and continue to be great, dude.
Loaded. They were loaded. They were loaded
and
in
they
the right
make
way.
every team like a contender wherever they go. Like they just make them so much better.
That team was loaded in the right way. They weren't top heavy. They weren't bottom. They weren't. They just were solid.
Hey, what'd you make out of what O'Reilly said about not going back to Toronto? How do you read into what he's really saying?
Who was I on with the other day? I was on with somebody on. It was Gordon.
Oh, in the NHL Network.
Yeah, it was Gordon. Oh boy,
yeah,
who I love, by the way.
Yeah, Scott Laughlin.
Scotty boy.